The story begins on the planet Blue Star, 2088th year of the new era. The main character walks down the street and looks at his phone. The girl next to him talks to the audience that they should not be lazy. They need to work with their hands and send her flowers. They should show their activity. The main character now has bunny ears. He blushes and thinks it's a live broadcast. But he doesn't blame anyone here. This is Lin Q. He is 17 years old, a student awakening type, transforming into an awakening beast, a little white rabbit. He thinks she really went overboard with the outfit. People who watch the stream say that she is beautiful, as if she looks into your very soul. The guy behind him also has bunny ears. Do men have these? Do people like this? This is disgusting. These are hardly false ears. Maybe he was bewitched. The streamer wonders, is this a werewolf rabbit? Is he really that weak? She needs to play with him. She tells the audience that if they think she can take him down in a minute, then they should send her their missiles. Viewers write, what did she say? Will there be a fight of animals? It is very interesting. The girl approaches Lin Q and says that this guy has the same ears as everyone else. She touches his ears and is about to say something. She doesn't finish speaking because she laughed and used some kind of magic. Streams of magical energy surrounded Lin Q, and this greatly surprised him. The girl tells the audience that she did it. She knocked down the little bunny. Lin Q lies on the ground and thinks that he is very sorry that he met such a nasty person on the way. He is surprised because he notices a bright light and approaching sounds. He did not have time to escape and was hit by a truck, causing him to fly several meters away. A man getting out of the car asks, what is this abomination with rabbit ears? He must get out of the way. The girl tells the audience that they should watch that rabbit fly into the sky. Lin Q falls to the ground and wonders why exactly he was so lucky. He grew up in an orphanage. At the age of 15, he awakened the ability to transform into a beast, but his form is that of a rabbit. At school, which was full of supernatural creatures, he was constantly bullied. The law on the Blue Star is survival of the fittest. In a forest with a huge number of ferocious animals, the rabbit can only wait to be torn to pieces. The man releases his energy as he goes to Lin Q and says that it was very unlucky. It was a new car after all. He must rise up and pay for it. Did he really decide to pretend to be dead? He raises his hand and says that he will teach him a lesson so that he knows how to touch his car. He punches with his hand and releases his energy. Lin Q wonders if he will die like this. How unhappy he is. If only he could get stronger. An unknown voice says that after 35 million years, a suitable host has finally been found. It wasn't easy. Lin Q is surprised to see something and wonders where he is. Many windows of the system appeared in front of him in which it was written, X-ray vision, knitting, hacking skills, awakening space. Robot 19527 is ready to serve its owner. Lin Q asks what kind of radish. The robot says that he himself is a radish and his whole family is a radish. He can simply call him 19527. Lin Q is scared and asks what is going on. 19527 says that for the first time in thousands of years, he found a suitable host, so he used the power accumulated over 35 million years to save him. Lin Q's eyes sparkled and he asked, so he didn't die. What kind of buttons are these? What kind of skill is this? It's 13 levels higher than the guy's. Can he choose any of these abilities? The robot says that he wants too much. He can awaken a new skill every day, but it happens by chance. Lin Q was very surprised by this and asked if he said it by chance. The robot says that it's all about the host. Because he resurrected him, he doesn't have enough energy, that's why. Lin Q did not listen to him and says that then he will not stay here. This means that once he resurrects him, he will return to the present time. The robot says that he will return to the place of his death. Lin Q asks if he gets a weak skill, will he die again? The robot says that he can no longer help. He must decide now for himself. Does he want to awaken the skill right now? Lin Q thinks that this makes no sense. He has a chance to return to life. He must take the risk. He presses the confirm button. In the system window, it is written that the skill lottery is activated. The host acquires an SSS rank skill and ability enhancement. In the real world, magical energy fills Lin Q's body and he begins to cough. The man is surprised by this and asks if he is still breathing. Lin Q jumps high and thinks that thanks to the new skill, his attack and jumping abilities are enhanced. He lands on the cars and hits the car very hard. The man got very angry and runs towards him. He asks how dare he treat his car like that. He will kill him right now. Lin Qiu kicks him and says that he does not plan to die. With this blow, he pushes this guy away very hard. The girl is very afraid of what is happening and says that he should not move. The system notifies that the rabbit fist skill is activated. Arm strength and attack speed are increased. He released his energy and destroyed that girl's clothes. Lin Qiu asks, is her head already spinning? It's better to cover it with something, otherwise it will confuse the townspeople. Someone writes that this rabbit should take his dirty hands off her. Lin Qiu says that he won't repeat it twice, so they should listen carefully. He's their boss bunny. Sometime later. Girls sitting in class ask if they read yesterday's news. That guy with bunny ears suddenly appeared in the middle of an online broadcast. He seems to be in the same class with them. Their classmate with bunny ears, they're not talking about him, are they? Based on this photo, it must be Lin Qiu. The girls came up to him and asked if it was really him. He is irresistible today and very cute. She also watched yesterday's broadcast. Lin Qiu wonders, was he called irresistible? The streamer girl and the male driver bow before him and say that they won't do this again. She promises that she won't do this again. Lin Qiu says that he is glad that they admitted that they were wrong. He thinks, is this how they talked about yesterday's situation? The girl and the man say that he has such great strength and such a weak body. He is a true man of this century. He is a role model. Lin Qiu thinks it's all thanks to the skills the system gave him. By the way, he hasn't learned a new skill yet. He mentally calls 90 and 527. The robot says that he is here. The system will automatically launch the lottery. The skill lottery is activated, the host acquires the world seeding skill. In the system window, it is written that seeding the world is a rank E skill. Lin Qiu wonders what kind of skill this is, so he can have a lot of fun. He clicks on the system window and wonders why it didn't work. The robot says that the skill has been successfully activated, pressing again is completely useless. Lin Qiu thinks that he has gained the skill, but the robot asks what he was thinking about. Skill means that he has gained knowledge about all the seeds that exist in the world. The plants that will be planted by him will definitely take root and germinate. He asks loudly, what does this mean? Wouldn't it be better to call the skill sowing seeds? He had to give this skill a name that wouldn't give false hope. A guy comes up to him and calls this white rabbit. Lainan, Awakening the Wind, Bronze, 4 stars. He says that he is proving popular with the girls. If he's not mistaken, after studying he works part-time as a delivery man. Does he want him to give him a job? If he is lucky, he will receive a lot of money. Lin Qiu says they can discuss his proposal later. He thinks this guy usually pisses him off. Why did he suddenly become so kind to him? Lainan says that a club is hiring workers. He is confident that they will receive him with great pleasure. Lin Qiu was surprised by this and wondered, is he serious now? He says he doesn't seem to have any problems with money. Lainan says with a smug look that of course it is. He realized what he meant and says that he was not in that place. Lin Qiu says that of course he understands him honestly. There is nothing wrong. Lainan is very angry and says that he is telling the truth about the fact that he was not there. He shouldn't say things like that. The guy with glasses asks if they want to be punished for fighting on school grounds. Lainan is still angry and looks at Lin Qiu. The teacher says they should sit down. He has 2 important announcements for him. There will be a check next week. He hopes they will try hard and get high scores. In addition, students who have awakened their abilities will additionally take a special exam. Senior management will also be present. The best will have the opportunity to enter Lingwu University. Lin Qiu is surprised to hear about this university. He thinks that after the aura reappeared, the blue star created Lingwu University. This university specializes in nurturing qualified motivators. Due to limited educational resources, the main way to assess students' abilities is through a special examination. Not only did he receive a poor bunny transformation skill, but he also received a mediocre qualification of 2 bronze stars. But now he has 9,527, so he has a chance. Lin Qiu raises his hand and tells the teacher what he wants. He doesn't have time to finish because the teacher says that he doesn't even have to try to pass the special exam. His qualifications are too low, he will only disgrace their school if he goes there. Lin Qiu is depressed because he is not suitable. He says he still wants to participate. The teacher says that he has mediocre abilities, they will laugh at him there, in such a way as to protect the honor of the school. Lin Qiu gets angry and thinks that these freaks look down on people like him. He will watch them speak when he awakens the 13 skills. The teacher says that if he can get into the top 10 in the upcoming test, then he will give him a chance. Lin Q says that they agreed then. The teacher says that in this case, the test results will resolve their dispute. Lin Q thinks that he has to fight. No matter what, he has to get into this university. Sometime later at school gate number 18. Lin Q runs and thinks that in addition to testing, he also needs to think about money for training. His salary is not enough, and he has little savings. An unknown car stops in front of him. The door opens, and someone starts to get out of the car. Lin Q was surprised by this and does not understand what is happening. 2 girls got out of the car, and one of them asked, "So he is that rabbit." He wonders who this angel is. The guys who stand next to him say that this is their goddess Qin Zhen Zhen. She's very beautiful. Lin Q wonders if it was just his imagination, or did she call him a rabbit? Why do girls like to call him that? He is a very serious guy. He can't call him that. How ashamed he is, and besides, she's really beautiful. He coughs and says she should let him introduce himself. She says her name and says that she can call him something else. He shows the phone and says here is his contact. She can take it. She shouldn't be shy. The girl smiles and tells the rabbit that he is quite funny. Lin Q recognized her and asked, she was the host of that broadcast, wasn't she? The girl gives the jacket and says that it's his. She came specifically to return it to him. He says this is how she learns too. Then on the street, he thought. She gestures that he should be quieter and says that this is just a little hobby. He should keep everything a secret. Then Q says that her hobby has made her very popular. Why does she have to hide like that? Qin Zhen Zhen distracts them and asks Cheng Ming, is this the guy she was talking about? She has awakening people, 1 silver star, the #1 high school fairy, occupies the highest position in the student ranking. Cheng Ming agrees and says that he easily dealt with the guy who had 2 bronze stars. Qin Zhen Zhen asks, so his opponent had 2 stars. Cheng Ming says that she is confident that he can handle anyone. Surely his level is higher than 2 stars. Lin Q says that if they want, he can show them something. Cheng Ming says he shouldn't do that. She returned the clothes, so they leave. Lin Q thinks that he never took her contacts. He asks, are they leaving already? Maybe the 2 of them can go somewhere and talk. Qin Zhen Zhen asks if he is confident in his decision. He asks, is there something wrong with this? She wonders if the 2 stars will have the courage to challenge her. She says her name and says that she never backs down from a challenge. They can do this, although there is a large difference in strength between them. They must fight. The winner will be determined next week. Lin Q agrees and, holding out his hand, says that he will simply listen to the goddess, or rather to Zhen Zhen. Qin Zhen Zhen is surprised by this and asks who allowed him to call her that. Lin Q asks what the reward will be in their competition. She says that if she loses, she will take back her words, and he can make any wish. She thinks that either way, he won't be able to win. Lin Q asks, did she say any wish? He wonders, will she do whatever he wants? He begins to imagine something and blushes because of it. Cheng Ming says he should just take his jacket. She advises him to abandon this idea. Qin Zhen Zhen asks her if she is coming or not. Cheng Ming says she is already running. Lin Kitty waves his hand at them and says that he is grateful for her advice, but he will not back down. She waves her hand back and says that they will see each other again. Sometime later, Lin Q got on his moped and notices that someone wrote to him. On the screen of his phone, it says mail gone, order details, expedited delivery. He is about to be beaten and he is asking for help. Hurry up, someone save me. He is at the entrance to the internet cafe Phoenix. Any amount, bring more people. Does he want to accept the order? Lin Q is surprised by this and asks, can you seriously get any amount for this order? He immediately starts driving and says that he is already flying to get his chest of money. After some time at the internet cafe Phoenix, someone asks, is he tired of living? The other guy asks them not to do it. He'll give them money, okay? How much do they need? This is Zhang San, awakened healer, 9 bronze stars. The guy lifts him up, grabbing him by the clothes. The guy says that of course they need the money, but they won't let him go. Does he think that everything can be solved with money? He can't escape, they will beat him to death. Lin Q asks, what are they doing here? Why did he decide that he could mock other people without being punished for it? The guy asks this idiot, did he want to die? Lin Q asks, do you have any ideas about this? The guy asks, what kind of impudence is this? They will kill this rabbit. Lin Q snaps his fingers behind him, and immediately many people appear to work with him. They say they are already here. Who needs to be beaten? There are only 2 of them. Any idiot who decides to do something like this on their territory will pay for it. 2 guys run away and one of them asks, who is this guy? Where are so many people from? Shang-Tsung says that he is very happy that they saved him. Is it really possible to hire a group of killers in delivery? If he sees these 2 again, his brother will beat them. Lin Q says that actually he is not a brother to him. Shang-Tsung says that he saved him, so now they are bound forever. From now on, he is a big brother to him. Lin Q says he has to stop. He doesn't need any brother, he prefers cash. Shang-Tsung says that money is not a problem, he will give as much as he wants. He says his name and says that he is student number 1 from high school. From now on, he will do whatever he asks. He shows him a phone with a transfer of 30,000, and this greatly surprises Lin Q. He thinks he succeeded. Even having distributed 170 people who came with him, he would still have a whole lot of money left. There is so much money that he can fully pay for his studies. He asks his brother, so what did these freaks want from him? He thinks that this rich guy was sent to him from heaven, nothing less. Shang-Tsung says that he did nothing of the kind. He was playing as a female character to get married in the same game, and those guys asked him to say something in the voice chat. He tried to say, changing his voice, but then it turned out that this guy was sitting opposite him, and also with his friend. Lin Q is surprised and thinks that this guy is really in trouble. He gets on his moped and says it's time for him to get back to work. Shang-Tsung asks his brother how he would like him to help him drive his car. Lin Q says he shouldn't do this. He thinks luck is on his side today. All thanks to meeting that girl. He wants to return home early, he doesn't want to disgrace himself in front of his goddess. Sometime later, the teacher says they are starting the lesson. Lin Q thinks that he is very sleepy. He studied all night, his body seemed empty. But today, the teacher will talk about the key points of the exam. He says 19527 that he wants a new skill. The robot says that he can't sleep all the time, he bothers him day and night. The system window says that the system is sleeping. Lin Q wonders how he can sleep so much. The system notifies that the host gains the photographic memory skill. This skill allows the host to remember everything he sees, as well as retrieve from the depths of his memory everything he has learned previously, which makes this skill indispensable in the final exams. Lin Q thinks it sounds cool. He should try it. He looks at the board on which the example is written, and the solution appears in the system window. He thinks it's too easy. The feeling is as if all the letters, signs, and numbers he had once seen were imprinted in his memory. Now all this is very easy for him. Doesn't having this skill make him look like a god and make him invincible? The teacher gets very angry looking at him. He hits the table with his palm and calls him by name, and this frightens Lin Q very much. The teacher asks why he is reading a physics textbook in Chinese class, and he also laughs. Lin Q says that he was just remembering a joyful moment. The teacher asks, did he say a joyful moment? What kind of joy is he talking about with his grades? Did he forget that he won't be allowed to take the special exam if he doesn't get into the top 10? Lin Q says that he actually forgot about it because he got bored in class. The teacher gets even angrier and says that this year they wrote a lot of dictations and each time his scores barely crossed the threshold. Lin Q says they shouldn't remember the past. Rote learning really isn't his forte. He can bet that he knows this book by heart. The teacher asks if he hasn't yet realized what his opinion is of him. He should refuse to compete so as not to disgrace the school. He should stop talking like that and come to his senses. He will start simple. What should the Phoenix do? Lin Q asks, is that all he wanted to ask? The Phoenix must embrace the moon and rest forever. The teacher says he was just lucky. Next question. Lin Q immediately says that he did not have time to grieve and mourn his ancestors. Of all the ancient texts they studied, only this sentence began with the character kin. The teacher asks, how is this possible? How did he accurately reproduce the second part of the sentence? Lin Q says that this is quite logical. The teacher says that this is not true at all. And he is still thinking about taking part in the exam with his knowledge. Lin Q says that this is not true at all. They studied this text last semester. He even asked to learn this passage by heart. The students are surprised and one of them asks, is he saying this seriously? Lin Q leaves and tells his fellow classmates that they will see each other at the exam. The teacher began to cough up blood in surprise, but the student caught him and asked if he was okay. Sometime later, many students stand at a large blackboard. The students say that he heard that one of the top 3 is studying at this school. This is impossible. Did they really kidnap Qin Zhen and force her to become a student at their school? And who is in first place, Lainan? This can't be. He's the weakest awakened one in their school. Lin Qiu took first place. Lainan is very surprised by this and says that this cannot be. Lin Qiu says that the world is a fickle thing. Sometimes the small fish gives the big fish a head start. He thinks that with the help of photographic memory, he will pass the exam with ease. He leaves and says that it's time to show the enemy what he's made of. Lainan says that he is furious. There must be some mistake here. This is impossible. The students say that he should calm down. 10 days later, competition arena. The man standing in the center says that the ability competition will begin very soon. Are they ready for this? They should greet the delegate from the 30th district. One that is among the top 100 students in the country. A student who took 18th place in the overall ranking. So who entered the top 3 at the previous stage. Qin Zhen punches and creates a very strong explosion. The man who is nearby asks what's wrong with her today. Something must have happened. The second man asks, doesn't he know? She had never ranked lower than first before, and today she dropped to second place. Lin Qiu waves his hand at her and says calling her Zhen says that she should come here. She gets very angry and waves her hand away. She says he won and can now say what he wants. Lin Qiu says that he thinks he offended her with this. Besides, their argument was a joke. She shouldn't take everything so personally. Or she could invite him to dinner. Qin Zhen blushes and says that she would like to tell him something. She is very embarrassed and says that she is sorry for calling him weak back then. Lin Qiu has a nosebleed and thinks she is very cute. A man with a microphone approaches them and asks what he sees here. What are the first and second places doing here together? Qin Zhen became even more confused and asked, did he say together? It's not like that at all. The guy says that he heard that his awakened form is a white rabbit. This is true. It was quite brave of him to take part in this test. Lin Qiu laughs and says that he came here for first place. People laugh and says that the little rabbit is aiming for victory. Well, isn't he an idiot? He shouldn't think that, having passed the exams, he will also be lucky in the ring. He should stay away from their goddess. The man with the microphone was surprised when he said that he was here for first place. Lin Qiu snatches the microphone and says that he has nothing to say to all of them, except that he is number 1. They must pray for their favorites. He hopes that he will get them. The guy snatches the microphone back and says he needs to stop talking. People around him say that he is a pathetic beast. If he has the courage, he should come down here and fight him. He doesn't advise him to get caught in the ring. The guy says into the microphone that they should be quieter and listen to the rules. It's a one-on-one battle, the winner advances and the loser is eliminated. In total, 257 students will take part in the competition. The numbers will be sent to the participants' mobile phones. Everyone immediately started looking at their phones. The guy says that since there is an odd number of participants, one of them will be randomly selected to skip the round. Participants in each round will be selected at random. The guy standing next to Lin Qiu prays and asks God to help him maintain his strength and hold out until the end. Numbers scroll on the screen and the guy announces that the first player is number 66. Lin Qiu asks, is it him? The people next to him say that this stupid rabbit is lucky. Why is it him? The guy announces that the game will start very soon. He asks the participants to get into the ring. Lin Qiu thinks he is lucky. A game is a game. The screen says that game number 1 will start at 10 o'clock and last 10 minutes. Ring A, number 5 versus number 32. Ring B, number 107 versus number 46. Ring C, number 92 versus number 18. Ring D, number 3 versus number 221. Lin Qiu thinks that Qin Zhen is participating in the first game. Someone says that the participant is injured and he is out. Lin Qiu is surprised by this and looks at what happened. Qin Zhen froze her opponent and the guy says that she is the winner of the first game, a high school student. A guy in the crowd says that as expected, she is a real star. Lin Qiu thinks that she is truly a silver-level ice awakener. A real goddess, this is incredible. He can't lose. He needs to learn more techniques quickly and become a player worthy of it. 10 minutes later, the two students fight each other, releasing strong energy. Lin Qiu put the book away and thinks that these stupid techniques are making him sleepy. He calls 9527 and says that he needs to get out to talk. He noticed that lately he had become lazy and stopped talking to him. The robot says that he is not too lazy. The selection is complete. The names of the techniques he received appear in the system window: collection of E rank, settling of E rank, strengthening the whole body of his rank, breeding of E rank. The robot congratulates the host on receiving an S rank technique, strengthening the entire body. Lin Qiu thinks that there is finally something as rank. In the last days, he gave him all sorts of garbage. It seemed to him that the problem was in the system itself, but it turned out he was wrong. The robot says that he advises the host to watch his words and thoughts, otherwise next time he will not gain any good and useful skills. Does he want to activate the skill right now? Lin Qiu agrees and thinks that he cannot wait any longer. Because of the reinforcement, his clothes are torn. The system notifies that the strengthening has been completed. He looks at his body and wonders if the enhancement is really that strong. He says that now he is a real man. Chengming blushed and quietly said what a huge rabbit he is. Lin Qiu asks, has she never seen handsome guys? She is very embarrassed and tries to come up with an excuse. He notices that his pants are also torn and asks, what is this? He screams very loudly in shame. Sometime later, the guy announces that the second round has come to an end. There are 101 participants left, and they are all ready to move on. Who's their next lucky winner? This is number 66. Second day. The guy announces that luck has smiled on number 66. The third day. The guy announces that he is already tired of this. Number 66 goes into the top 35. He wants to ask this participant to say a few words to them. Lin Qiu removes the magazine from his face and says that honestly, he himself didn't want it to happen like this. He is bored, and he also wants to exercise. The students say that this freak is lucky again. I can't believe that he missed the last round too. Maybe his luck has run out. He will be very unlucky if they meet in the ring. They fight so desperately in the ring, and this freak is always lucky. Lainan says that they have already gone through several rounds, and this loser is still sitting on the bench. Is this fair? He doesn't agree with this. It demands fair treatment for everyone. The guy grabbed the microphone from him and said it was incredible. Due to competitor Lainan withdrawing from the competition, number 66 Lin Qiu will take part in the next stage. The guy grinned and said that his luck had run out. Lin Qiu warms up and says that he will finally be able to play. It's time to check your level after the last performance upgrade. The guy announces that now they will see who will be his first opponent. Lei Dian is number 88. This guy is a Thunder Awakener, 8 bronze stars. Lin Qiu looks at the guy and thinks that it looks like his opponent. Lei Dian gestures that he is finished. He is surprised by this and thinks that this guy shouldn't be so aggressive towards him. Sometime later, the guy says that the first game will start very soon. Lei Dian asks his name is Lin Qiu, right? His lucky streak ended on him. He was extremely unlucky to become his opponent. He doesn't like to show off before the game, but he will smash him to the ground. He releases his energy and says that although he has changed his mind, he will torture him slowly. After the fight, he will not be able to come to his senses for a long time. He releases his energy and says that he has nothing more to add. He must die. Lin Qiu easily dodges the energy shot, and the projectile explodes behind him on the ground. He says the reload time is too long. Surely all his opponents are safe. He's right. Most likely, he wouldn't be able to defeat them with this technique, right? Lei Dian asks, how is this possible? How was he able to dodge his attack? He releases his energy again and uses the thunder technique. Lin Qiu moves so fast and dodges the lightning. Lei Dian says that he shouldn't think that he can get away with answering so easily. He forced him. He directs his energy to the floor. Lin Qiu thinks that the damage is very high, much more than the previous attack. He had received such lightning bolts a couple of times in the past. If it gets hit, the consequences will be catastrophic. In this case, you need to get rid of him quickly so that he does not have time to strike him. He got close to him very quickly and raised his fist, about to attack. Lei Dian is surprised and thinks that this is very fast. He has such a simple awakening, but the strength does not correspond to it. He must withstand his attack. Lin Qiu punches and thinks that he will not tolerate it. Lei Dian flies several meters and falls to the ground. The guy announces that it was incredible. Number 66 struck down the enemy with one single blow. He declares Lin Qiu the winner. He wonders if after enhancing his characteristics, his strength has really increased so much. People who followed this ask, is he really that strong? He killed him with one blow. Zhang Wen, vice president of the Martial Arts University, asks if he is satisfied. It was he who allowed him to participate in the competition. Lu Zhen, vice president of the martial arts university, says that it is not that important. Is he really that sure of him? Lin Qiu stands against the beast who awakened the physical strength, 8 bronze stars. Zhang Wen says that he watched the round carefully, he did not use spiritual power. Lu Zhen says that this is impossible. The force put into this blow was too great. If he really didn't use spiritual power, his physical strength must be incredible. Zhang Wen says that he is a very curious newcomer. The next day, the guy announces that number 66, Lin Qiu, will fight number 12, Sheng Gui. The match begins. His opponent awakened the physical strength of the beast, 8 stars, the beast form of a wolf. Lin Qiu looks at his opponent and thinks that he has a very creepy aura. Maybe he should improve his performance a little more. Sheng Gui falls to his knees and says that this is it. He gives up. This greatly surprises Lin Qiu, and the guy declares him the winner. Next match. The girl kneels down and says that she gives up. Lin Qiu is surprised by this and says that he hasn't done anything yet. The guy declares him the winner. Next match. The guy with the book says that he also gives up. Can he get an autograph? Lin Qiu shows a piece of paper with the inscription, "Why is it so difficult for him to find an opponent?" The guy is declared the winner. He congratulates Lin Qiu for being one of the top 8 students. He is surprised and thinks, has he already made it to the top 8? Sometime later. Lin Qiu is lying on the grass, and next to him there is a sign that says invincible. He says that he does not agree with this inscription. He is very bored. He thinks that he thought it would be fun, but it all turned out to be a waste of his time. The robot tells the host that he should speak more quietly. Lin Qiu thinks he is just in time. Today he hasn't chosen a skill yet. The system notifies that skillful use of any weapon. It doesn't matter what kind of weapon it is, it also has increased accuracy. The robot congratulates the host on achieving the B rank marksmanship skill. Lin Qiu wonders, did he get marksmanship? Who needs a spear and a bow in the era of modern technology? Qin Zhen came up to him and called him. Lin Qiu jumped up and asked, did she come to see him? She says that she came to tell him something. He thinks that the goddess is here, and he also looks at her from this angle. He says that she can say he will be happy with a few words that she says. Qin Zhen says that she is going to gather a team to explore the bronze spirit market during the summer holidays. I wanted to know if he was interested in this. Lin Qiu asks, does she mean the bronze spirit market? After the revival of spiritual energy, countless spiritual markets were naturally revived, which are filled with all kinds of beasts and rare treasures. In these animals, not only their skin is valued, they are capable of producing special spiritual spheres that are useful for cultivation. Qin Zhen says that she decided to invite her. What does he think about this? Lin Qiu thinks that rare treasures are also in her company. Isn't this a date? He imagines that she hugged him and says that they are very scared. He replies that everything is fine, she can rely on him. These thoughts made him blush. Qin Zhen says that there will be 6 more people besides him, so he doesn't have to worry about safety. Lin Qiu cries and thinks that his plans to be alone with her are gone. He says that he accepts the invitation. But who are the other guys? Qin Zhen turns away and says that's great, she'll contact him later. Lin Qiu asks, is she leaving already? They could go to a cafe and talk. She turns to him and tells him that he needs to be ready to play, so he won't be ashamed when they collide in the ring. Last day of the competition. The guy says that they are with them and have waited for the finale. The audience must be ready, they are starting. People rejoice and say that the goddess should beat this rabbit. The participants stood up in the arena, and the guy announced that the opponents were Lin Qiu against Qin Zhen. She points her finger and tells her opponent that this time she won't let the first place slip out of her hands. She thinks that even though he is now part of her team, she will not give him first place. Lin Qiu says it doesn't matter who comes first. He thinks that she already became the best in the exams. Why does she care so much? If it weren't for the gesture he showed during the interview, he himself would have happily given in. He says that still, he advises her to admit defeat. He smiles and says that he will not be soft with her. The guy announces that it seems the players are ready, so the game begins. Qin Zhen says that not only is her level higher than his, she also received a black belt in Taekwondo several years ago. So from the point of view of physical fitness, she is definitely not inferior to him. Lin Qiu fills her fist with energy and says that in this case, she should be careful. He strikes, but Qin Zhen repels his attack. She very quickly got behind him and kicked him on the back. This pushed him several meters away. Lin Q smiles, wiping his face, and thinks that the goddess is truly worthy of such a name. The blow was worthy if it were not for the strengthening of the body, which improved his physical condition. He would definitely not have survived this blow. He starts running towards her and thinks that the fight has just begun. He throws many punches, which Qin Zhen Zhen blocks his attacks. He strikes, but she dodges very quickly and, about to attack, says that he is too slow. Lin Qiu turns around and looks at her in surprise. She hits him in the shoulder area. From this blow, he fell to the ground and felt severe pain. Qin Zhen Yan says that he should give up. Even though his physical form is good, his skills leave much to be desired. She creates ice crystals that float above her hand and says that she didn't even have time to use her special skill. Lin Qiu stands up and thinks that she is right if this continues. He looks and thinks that this is it. He has found a way out. He turns and asks to stop the fight. He jumps off and the guy asks, "Did he say stop? Is that possible?" Lin Qiu took the mop and said what he wanted to ask. "Can he use this?" The guy says that in all his time he has never met such impudent people as him. Qin Zhen Zhen says everything is fine. Let him use it. She wonders what's wrong with this guy. What does he think about himself? After all, he may not even dare to blame her for cruelty. She asks, can they start? Lin Qiu says that he will show her his new weapon, a deadly mop that fits perfectly in his hand. She should look here. She shouldn't cry when she loses. Qin Zhen Zhen thinks that something is wrong here. It was as if he had been transformed after picking up that mop, like a general who had picked up the perfect weapon. Lin Qiu starts running towards her and says that she should let him attack first. He hits her with a mop and says she should look here. Qin Zhen Zhen dodges this attack. He uses his body control skill and redirects his attack. He redirected his attack and struck. She is surprised by this and wonders why he suddenly became so accurate. She blushes and says that she will kill him. Lin Qiu was embarrassed and said that it was just muscle memory. He didn't mean it. He just couldn't stop. Qin Zhen Zhen says that he should shut up. She uses the basic skill of icicles. Lin Qiu is scared by this and asks her to listen to him. He dodges the many icicles she fired. Qin Zhen Zhen uses the ice, freezing skill and says that she is tired of him. Lin Qiu says that he is very cold and feels that his body is weak. He watches his opponent and thinks that her magic is very fast. If he hadn't improved his form, he would have been lying on the ground by now. He looks up and notices ice crystals that are aimed at him. Qin Zhen Zhen released her ice crystals, and this caused a very strong explosion. She tells the presenter that he must call an ambulance and announce the results. The guy agrees and says that he is the winner. Suddenly, Lin Qiu's silhouette appears in the middle of the smoke. He says he just left her for 1 minute. She should relax. He starts running towards her with a mop in his hands and says that he is already here. Qin Zhen Zhen creates ice on her hand, and she is surprised at how fast it moves. Lin Qiu continues to run towards her at high speed. Qin Zhen Zhen blocks his attack by strengthening both his hands with ice. She thinks his strength is so great that it can break through her ice armor. Her hand was almost numb. Does he really want to move her to second place? She won't put up with it. She repels this attack and breaks through to rank 2 silver. Lin Qiu was surprised by what happened and understands that this is a breakthrough. If he stumbles somewhere, then most likely all his efforts will be in vain. He calls the host and says that he must pause the fight because this is not a fair game. The guy says that again he asks for a break. He is an idiot because this is not foul play, but a breakthrough. Lin Qiu asks, isn't breaking through during a fight considered foul play? The guy asks, what is dishonest here in his opinion? He should stop wasting time. Qin Zhen Zhen thinks that he did not attack her because of the breakthrough. She didn't expect him to be so sweet. She says he should stop using his tricks. He must approach her and fight. Lin Qiu takes a fighting stance and, agreeing, says that they must fight. Qin Zhen Zhen says that he should be careful because she is much stronger now. Lin Qiu rests the mop on the floor and jumps. He dodges many ice crystals that fly past him. He thinks, is this all because of the breakthrough? Her speed and attack power increased greatly. He rests the mop on the floor again, and he feels the pain of multiple ice attacks. Qin Zhen Zhen uses magic and spins his energy around himself. She looks at her opponent and sends ice crystals towards him. Lin Qiu looks at the ice crystals flying towards him and thinks that this is the end. He blocks the attacks with his hands, and these ice crystals are destroyed when they crash into him. He thinks that his hands are very cold. He feels as if he is losing consciousness. If this continues, he will definitely lose. He must fight. He moves very quickly towards his opponent. Kim Jen is surprised by this and says that she underestimated him. What is this splash? She tries to move away from him. Lin Q approached her and thinks that he cannot let her attack him again. He ran behind her and grabbed her. Kim Jen tries to break free and asks this idiot what is he doing. He must remove his hands from her. Lin Q says there is no way he will do this. Because he grabbed her Kim Jen, she blushed because of this. She starts hitting him, trying to break free, and tells this freak that he has to let her go. Lin Q thinks that her strength is too great. If they continue like this, then they are done. He does not have time to finish the thought, and they begin to fall to the ground. He manages to lie under her so that she does not get hurt. Kim Jen turns to him and says that he is bleeding. He must remove his hands immediately. She wonders if he is even now trying to protect her. Lin Q says that he will not let her go until she admits defeat. Kim Jen says that he should not force her. She will let him go if he admits defeat. Lin Q says she shouldn't force him. He has an ace up his sleeve called the rabbit bite. If she doesn't admit defeat, he will actually bite her. Kim Jen says that they are actually taking an exam. Did he decide to bite? Lin Q asks what difference does it make whether he passes the exam or not. He just wants to win. Kim Jen blushed when she heard these words. She sighed because she had calmed down. She raises her hand and says she gives up. This statement greatly surprised the judge. Lin Q relaxed after hearing this and immediately lost consciousness. Kim Jen turns to him and calls his name. She approached him and asked what happened to him. Lin Q loses consciousness and asks, "Is someone calling him?" She says he overdid it. Does he really have to treat himself like that? Lin Q's hands become the same as those of a rabbit, and he reaches out to her. Kim Jen runs away from him and asks this rabbit not to come near her. Lin Q is surprised to see his hands and asks what's going on. He doesn't understand what happened to him. Suddenly, he wakes up and screams in fear. The robot asks the host, so he woke up. Lin Q asks, was it a dream? The robot says that he congratulates the host on receiving an SSS rank skill improvement. The optimal skill for improvement was chosen, brutality. The white rabbit is successfully transformed into a stray rabbit. In the system window, it says that the bunny tramp skill is activated. Description: you should not mess with rabbits, especially strays. Lin Q says that this is all some kind of mistake. The robot says that just yesterday he was in a coma and could not choose a skill on his own. He asks, maybe it's not so bad. Anyway, lately only any E-rank garbage has fallen out since he woke up. The robot congratulates the host on receiving the SSS rank skill Space System Awakening. Lin Q wonders, did he get an SSS rank skill again? Is he really that lucky today? The robot says that it has been discovered that the host already has some skills. The process of merging skills begins. Lin Q asks, what kind of merger is this? What is he doing? He must explain everything to him. What is skill fusion? The robot says that the merger was successful. The host has successfully evolved and turned into a B-level beast. In the system window, it is written that the B-level beast is an introduction to the skill. The Stray Rabbit's space synthesis system has endowed the host with a number of space system advantages that will help the host make dreams come true. Lin Q asks what is the use of this thing. The robot says that this is a storage space, a special place in the space system. It's empty now, but you can put anything there. Lin Q asks, is this some kind of storage room? That's pretty cool. The robot says that in addition to space, the host has awakened a new skill, Any Door. In the system window, it is written that the host opens a door that allows him to teleport to any point within a distance of 5 meters. A small portal appears in front of Lin Q. He goes out this door and says that it means he can teleport to any point within a radius of 5 meters. He'll try it. The robot says that it must open the door and imagine a destination 5 meters away that can be reached. Lin Q thinks about it and says that he wants to go to the floor below, just to try the skill. He teleports and falls to the floor in another room. He grabbed his head because he hit it so hard. The girl who was sitting here was very surprised when she saw him. She immediately grabbed the knife and pointed it at him. She recognized him and asked how he ended up here. This is Lai Zhu. She is 20 years old and the daughter of a landlord. Lin Q asks, so does the landlord's family live downstairs? She should calm down and let him explain everything. Lai Zhu asks what can he explain here. She will kill him. Lin Qiu says it's just a misunderstanding. He asks her not to beat him. He is a sick man. Sometime later the next day in a cafe, Lin Qiu walks inside and thinks he is in a lot of pain. However, he was lucky that she released him alive at all, otherwise he would not have been able to go on a date with the goddess. Today she suddenly sent him a message. Qin Zhen waves at him and says that he should come here. Lin Qiu became upset when he saw that there were other people here. She says that he seems to have gotten even worse after the rest. He says something just happened. Qin Zhen asks if he is okay. They'll be leaving soon. He should take good care of himself. She invited them here so that the researchers could get to know each other in advance. They already know each other, don't they? Lin Qiu thinks that now everything is clear to him, but he was already happy. Zhang San is a 9-star healer. He asks, is he okay? Should I treat him to something? Cheng Ming is an 8-star sound conqueror. She says he looks very pathetic. Qin Zhen points to the guy sitting next to them and says that this is Zhang Cheng. He is the real storm of their team. He greets Lin Qiu and says that he has seen his fights. He is very cool. He's a 9-star bronze fire lord. Qin Zhen says that there are 2 more, but they are busy with admissions now, so they cannot attend. He must have gotten a ton of offers from universities too, right? Lin Qiu agrees and says that he received a couple of invitations this morning. He thinks that the famous university, which he could not even dream of before, is now fighting for it with other universities. Qin Zhen blushed and wanted to say something to Lin Qiu. She asks which university he is going to choose. He blushed and wondered why she suddenly asked. Does she really want to? He says that for now he is leaning towards Martial Arts University. What is it? Is she going to go to the same place as him? Qin Zhen says that he is right. She wants to go to the same university with him. She lost to him all the time and is not ready to put up with it. So she will try to defeat him there. Lin Qiu says she can do as she wants. He is ready to fight at the first order of the goddess. Qin Zhen says they should stop talking. They should get down to business. They are not interested in location. What they need is the spirit beast that is hiding there, the ice fox. It is necessary to find the spiritual realm. They usually live in groups, so she can't do it alone, so she needs their help. She knows they all did well on their exams, so she's doubly grateful for them joining the team to help. Cheng Ming says she shouldn't say that. Zhang Cheng says that this is also an experience for them. Zhang Zhen says that he is right. Besides, they are lucky to have Lin Qiu on their team. He laughs at his words and says that it was his luck that the goddess invited him to join. It's a great honor to be on the same team with them. He wonders how, with so many stars, they can learn something from him. Qin Zhen coughs and says that he doesn't need to call her a goddess, but rather by her name. They will leave in 3 days and will gather at Lin Qiu's house at 10 in the morning. Everyone agrees with her. Sometime later, half an hour before departure, Lin Qiu gathers his things and tells 9527 that he has to get out. The robot congratulates the host for achieving the E-rank skill, culinary skill. In the system window, it is written that language proficiency is E-rank. The host instantly masters all languages in the world. Knowledge of a rank medicine, the host is perfectly versed in all medicines that have ever existed on Earth, both Western and Chinese traditional medicine. Lin Qiu says that he has achieved an E-rank skill again. Why are skills so weak lately? He gained mastery of languages and knowledge of medicine. Does the system want to make him a director of some company? The robot says that he was already very lucky. He got the space system after all. Lin Qiu says that, by the way, he wanted to talk about space. What's with the space? The robot asks if he wants to try it. At the same moment, magical energy appears around him. Because of this magical energy, his briefcase begins to disappear. Lin Qiu says this is very cool. He thinks there is such a huge space there. He put his briefcase there, but he doesn't feel the weight at all. The robot says that there is still a lot of space inside, so you can at least take the whole room with you. Lin Qiu asks, is he saying this seriously now? Someone sits in a car near his house and says that they are already there. He waves his hand at him and says that he is already running. He thinks it's a very useful skill. Sometime later, Cheng Ming looks at the magic pocket on his stomach and asks, is this a space system skill? Lin Qiu takes out the same stick from the exam and asks them not to look at him because he is shy. Zhang Sen asks, so he is a 2-element awakener. Lin Qiu puts that stick back. Qin Zhen says that the space system is quite a rare phenomenon. How did he manage to get this? Shang Sen asks if he really took that stick with him, as expected of him. Changming reaches for the magic pocket and asks him to let her touch it. Lin Qiu was frightened and said that the gods are with him and their radiance is eternal. He must protect himself. She asks what's wrong. This is the first time she has seen the skills of the space system. The guy sitting behind the wheel laughs and says that he is quite funny. Everyone should pay attention, they are almost there. This guy's name is Shen Gui. Lin Qiu looks out the window and is surprised when he sees something. Sometime later, he gets out of the car and looks at something. Next to them is a huge pillar of magical energy with several people nearby. Lin Qiu looks at it in surprise and thinks that this is what it is. No one knows how such places appeared, but everyone assumes that it is connected with the restoration of spiritual energy. In such places, live animals of various species, the level of which is determined by the level of space. Although spirit beasts can enter the human world, they rarely do so on their own initiative. So people both should and shouldn't be afraid of it. Therefore, no matter whether a person is bronze or silver rank, they will definitely be monitored by government authorities. Those who are the last frontier between their worlds. The man stops Lin Qiu and says that registration is closed for today. If they want to enter, they must fill out a special form and come tomorrow. Qin Zhen agrees and says that she will fill out the form. Her group will come tomorrow. Lin Qiu looks at the portal made of bright magical energy. He thinks that he feels the aura in this place is much stronger than in others. Chengming hugged him and asks this rabbit what is he doing. Lin Qiu is surprised and blushes because she approached him. She says she doesn't like it, he can just call her Min. He can call her the same as Zheng Zhen. Lin Qiu says this is different. Where is she taking him? Chengming says of course they go to the room to rest. She still hopes that he will allow her to touch his bottomless belly. Lin Qiu says he won't let her do that. Someone looks at them and thinks that this group of people looks pretty wealthy, especially this guy with a car. One of the crowd of guys asks another what he thinks to do with these rich people. He should look at their car and everything. The other guy says he's right. They should look at that guy. Isn't this the guy from Dinsheng Group? One of them is Yang, who, 5 silver stars, the leader of the wolf squad. He says that they must not leave this group one step when they enter there. The other guy says he doesn't have to worry. He'll look after them. Once upon a time, this guy caught another guy with a rope and asked if he went for a walk. They were unlucky to fall into the wolf's clutches. They also attacked other people unknown to them. Yanhu says they are regulars here. Their job is to take care of rich, weak adventurers like these. He must wait, and then he will be convinced of everything for himself. This place will become a cemetery for them. The next day, they go inside, following Lin Qiu. They pass through the portal and find themselves in a completely different space. He wonders, is this the space of spirit beasts? It is very big inside. Qin Zhen says they should go. Their goal is located in the very depths of this place, in the snowy fields. The journey will take about 2 days, no less. Lin Qiu says that he understood it. She tells Chengming that she should remember to pay attention to what is happening around her. She says that she doesn't have to worry because she has already connected the radar. Sound system radar is a special skill that allows you to use bat-like echolocation to monitor your surroundings in real time. Lin Qiu says that's great, their preparation is great. Qin Zhen says that since everyone is ready, they can move forward. Lin Qiu agrees, and they are watched by a guy from a group of wolves. 2 more guys are sitting next to him. Another guy asks the boss, will they attack right now? Yang Wu asks why this rush. The area here is too open, so they will be discovered quickly. They will wait until they enter the forest, and then they will start having fun. Sometime later. Bighorn goats are a low-level bronze spirit beast that feed on plant roots, do not like strangers, and actively attack creatures approaching them. One of these animals hears some sound and pays attention to it. Suddenly a very strong explosion occurs. Lin Qiu tells these idiots that they will burn all these animals like that. Their wool, by the way, costs money. The 2 guys apologize to him. He says that they should see what else of value can be found here. Chengming is happy and says that she found 2 spheres without skills. He is surprised to notice the wolves standing on the rock. Qin Zhen turns to everyone else in the group and says that they are wolves. They must be careful not to take their sneak attacks lightly because these beasts are extremely vindictive. If they discover that one of their comrades has died, they will become even more cruel and their attacks will be more powerful. Lin Qiu asks what will happen if their leader dies. She is surprised and asks if he is thinking of ending this battle by killing the leader. Shang-sen says it's probably not that simple. These wolves are very cunning. Their leader will not allow them to defeat him so easily. Lin Q says that since the leader will not come to them, he will find him himself. He uses a special spiritual portal. He turns to the others and says that they should stay put and take care of themselves. He will return as soon as he finds him. He teleports into the air and asks, so he is the leader of the wolves, right? He hits the wolf's head with a stick with great force. The wolves are shocked by what happened and say in their own language that they cannot escape. Is their boss dead? All the wolves run away out of fear of Lin Q. Shang-sen says it was wonderful. His space skill is incredible. Lin Q says it was simple. They need to cut up the leader of the wolves and look for something. This spirit beast is much stronger than the others. He will see if he has anything. He takes out a bright yellow object and asks, is this a spiritual sphere? Qin Zhen says that this is definitely an area with some kind of hidden skill. Shang-sen says it's incredible. They just came here and have already found an orb with a skill. Lin Q asks, is the skill hidden? He holds out the sphere and says that he can take it because he is also a wolf. He will be responsible for revealing it. Shen Gui is very surprised by this and says that this is too valuable. He will accept this sphere. Even though it is only a bronze rank, it can still be extremely useful. Its market value is approximately 2 million. He will transfer the money to him as soon as it is at home. Lin Q was surprised to hear this and wondered, is this thing worth 300,000 for everyone in their group? They can get rich that way. Shen Gui holds it in his hands and concentrates on it. The sphere begins to emit bright energy. This really surprises everyone, and they say that he really succeeded. It was very cool. Lin Q was very upset about this and thinks that if he had known how cool this thing was, he would have kept it for himself. He says it's normal because he gains skills every day. The robot says that skill extraction is starting. The system window says that a rank's physical enhancement has been received. The robot congratulates the host on receiving the physical enhancement skill. Lin Q says that he has acquired this skill again. If he remembers correctly, it's already come out a couple of times. He notices that his clothes are torn again. Qin Zhen notices this and asks what happened to his clothes. She thinks he already embarrassed her with this earlier. Did he do this on purpose? Lin Qiu gets very angry, and the robot says that it is just luck. He doesn't understand how he managed to gain this skill 3 times in such a short period of time. Lin Qiu runs away and says that it is late, they should rest. He will change clothes and come back. He walks away and thinks, does it mean that his strength has now tripled? The robot says that his strength now corresponds to an awakened one with 6 silver stars. Lin Qiu wonders, did he say 6 silver stars? It's very powerful. The robot says that he should just enjoy it. Sometime later, the whole group gathered around the fire. Lin Qiu sits with a kind look and laughs. Qin Zhen looks at him intently and asks if it seems to her, or did he return from the forest too happy? He says that is not true at all. He thinks that he is so happy because his strength has increased and he can't wait for the next skill. Chengming quietly says that she feels like they are being followed. Qin Zhen asks, is she sure about this? Could there be someone else here? Chengming says that after observing, she found that they were being followed. They were moving after each other. The distance was 800 or 900 meters. They should not lag behind and should stick together. Qin Zhen says that they must be extremely careful. She heard that there are illegal organizations that hunt people like them. Disappearances are quite common here. They are difficult to track down because they do not leave any traces after murders, destroying the corpses of their victims. If it was them, then they had been following them from the moment they entered the forest. Previously, they would have been too easy to notice. Lin Qiu puts his hand on her shoulder and says that she doesn't have to worry because they can handle it. He will protect her. Qin Zhen blushes and asks who needs his protection anyway. She means that they should all be ready to fight back. He agrees and says that he listens to her. The next day, Lin Qiu calls 910-527. The robot says that skill extraction is starting. The system notifies you that the taming skill E rank has been acquired. Lin Qiu asks what could be good about an E rank skill. He had waited too long for today's skill. Suddenly someone screams loudly. He wonders what it is. It was Qin Zhen's voice. He comes out of the tent and sees 2 huge snakes. He is surprised to see these monsters. The system notifies that the speed cobra is extremely fast. a very poisonous animal that is difficult to tame. Lin Qiu thinks that it is possible to obtain information through the taming skill. He runs to the others and says that everyone should go back and they cannot attack at close range. The snake spits poisonous liquid, but everyone manages to jump to the side. Qin Zhen asks the guy next to her, did he hear what they were told? They should try together. The guy agrees with her. They both use their spells and use it against the monster. Their attacks cause a strong magical explosion. Several ice crystals pierced the body of the huge serpent. Qin Zhen says that it was very dangerous. Chengming says that this snake is very nasty and stinks. Lin Qiu says, this is the moment for a real man. Shang Sen says that he should look at it, something is moving inside. Lin Qiu says they should wait, they shouldn't get close just yet. He cuts the body of the snake with a dagger and 2 eyes are visible from there. An animal jumps out of the snake's body and the system notifies that the gopher has an easygoing temperament, is well versed in why, and is not a good digger. Lin Qiu asks what else is this. The girls say at the same time that this is a very cute animal. Shang Sen asks, is this a mole? The gopher jumps on Lin Qiu's shoulder and he says that he doesn't think this thing is worth being afraid of. The gopher jumps away from him and flies towards Qin Zhen, and this greatly surprises her. She holds this animal and says that he is very cute and obedient. Lin Qiu says that he should return to him. He thinks it's a potential threat. He returned to the snake's body and continued to examine it. He takes out several spheres and tells the others about it. The beast makes sounds and waves its hand. Qin Zhen says that he seems to want the spheres in his hands. The animal falls clumsily to the ground. Lin Qiu says that he will not give it to him, and he may not even think about it. The gopher begins to make sounds and shows gestures. He asks, does he want to exchange these spheres for something? He doesn't believe him. People from their group wonder if he really understands him. The gopher jumps and snatches the spheres from his hands. Lin Qiu reaches out to him and wants to return these spheres. Shang Sun says that these are just a couple of spheres. Lin Qiu cries and thinks that he is simply too rich. What can he know? These spheres were so large, it must be worth a lot of money. Qin Zhen says that she thinks she hears someone's voice. Suddenly, there are a lot of explosions in a row at a great distance. Chengming points it out and says they should look at it. She feels that they are surrounded by a group of spirit beasts. There are a lot of them. Suddenly, several gophers jump out of the ground, holding spheres of different colors in their paws. This really surprises everyone. One of the gophers with a sphere in his paws gestures for the others to come to him. The gophers begin to collect all the spheres they brought into one pile. Lin Qiu points to himself and asks, is this all for him? Gopher says in his language that it is as a sign of gratitude for the 2 Earth-type orbs he gave him. Chengming counted all the spheres and wrote it down in a book. It says there are 70 red beads, 4 of which have magical powers. 52 blue beads, 3 of which have magical abilities. 61 green beads, 3 of which have magical abilities. 30 purple beads, 2 of which have magical powers. Chengming says that there are a total of 213 spiritual realms. Among this, there are even magical spheres. Zhang Sen says that even though it is bronze level, there are a lot of these spheres. Lin Qiu examines the spheres and thinks that there are no rare or earthen ones. They must have been devoured by those gophers. The only ones that will suit them. He gives the red sphere and says that it is better to give the fire sphere to him. Zhang Cheng says that he is grateful to him for this. He really wants a fire skill, a big fireball. Qin Zhen says that he can take the rest of the spheres for himself. Lin Qiu asks, can he take it all? She agrees and says that the fact that they dealt with that monster so easily is his merit. Shang Sun says she's right, it's all thanks to him. Chengming asks, did those animals want something in exchange for these spheres? Lin Qiu says that it doesn't seem like that. All these spheres are useless to the earth element beasts, so they gave it to them. He puts these spheres in his storage and says that since they themselves offered, he will not be modest. Qin Zhen asks, does he want to try to absorb it? Lin Qiu agrees and says that he will try it. He thinks he hasn't done anything like this before. What should he do? The sphere begins to emit energy, and he feels something strange. Thanks to this, he broke through to 3 copper stars. Shang Sen is surprised by this and says he congratulates him on his breakthrough. Qin Zhen asks, did he break through right after he absorbed this sphere? How strong was this sphere? Lin Qiu says that is not the case. He trained hard for a month, so the breakthrough was very close. Qin Zhen says that anyway, she congratulates him. Now the combat effectiveness of their team has increased a little more. She strokes the gopher's head and thanks him for it. She says they need to move on, so he should go home too. Lin Q grabs the gopher and says that he has business with this guy. The beast makes an incomprehensible squeak. He asks, wouldn't it be difficult for him to follow them? He quietly says that they will go underground. The gopher says that he obeys him. Sometime later, Yan Hu and the other guy are secretly watching them. The guy with 2 silver stars tells the boss that they have entered the forest. Why don't they attack now? The guy with the 3 silver stars says he should let him do it. They can handle a bunch of newbies on their own. Yan Hu says they don't have to worry. There are 3 silver level members on their team. They can handle them with ease. But they need to let them go a little further into the very depths of the forest. When they let their guard down and breathe easy, they will attack them. Sometime later at night, Lin Q stands at the cliff and says that this is great, it's deep enough here. He leaned over and thanked the gopher for helping with the placement of those stakes. The gopher took the stakes and jumped down. The beast begins to thrust stakes into the ground. Lin Q took out the item and says that this is great, he should tell his comrades to leave here. He pours out some liquid and says that 1 drop of this poison and no one will be able to get out of there healthy. He waves his hand to the gophers and says that he is grateful to them all for their help. They can go. They should be careful. They must not let other spirit beasts catch them. Qin Zhen Zhen says that all the traps have been set. She has news for them. They come to the fire and Cheng Ming calls them sister and rabbit. Qin Zhen Zhen asks what news she has. Cheng Ming uses his ability and says that that group of people is getting closer to them. They stopped somewhere 500 meters away from them. She clearly heard everything they said. They said they would attack them at night. The opponents seem to be that notorious gang of wolves. Zheng Sen is surprised and asks, did she say gang of wolves? He had heard that they often hunt and kill newcomers. They have several silver-level people on their team. Lin Q thinks that the guys seem to be very nervous. If this continues, he says that they are all not behaving as they should. He hopes they will all remain calm. No matter who they face, they must be prepared for it. These guys don't know anything about mercy, so any carelessness can cost them their lives. He will protect these 2. Their combat power is not strong enough, so they will surely be attacked first. Qin Zhen Zhen looks at him, and with surprise she realizes that she, as their captain, should have said this, but now she herself has succumbed to panic. Lin Q says that they are their support, so they should take care of themselves. Zhang Zhen says that he understood him. Cheng Ming was a little happy and calmed down after his words. Qin Zhen Zhen thinks that he acts so composed even when he is in danger. Lin Q remembers something and calls her name. He says that if she is scared, she can always rely on him. Qin Zhen Zhen smiled and said that she hopes for him. Because of this, Lin Qiu got a nosebleed and thinks that this goddess is too cute. Zhang Sen runs to him and asks what happened to him. Sometime later late at night, people from the wolf group gathered near the camp. Yan Hu says the hunt has begun. The 2nd and 7th should come from the north. The 6th should go south. The 4th and 5th will come from the west. The guy asks the boss what should he do. The guys start running away in different directions. Yan Hu says they have to surround them. They can't let anyone escape. The guy staying with him tells the boss that this is a little suspicious. He steps on a certain place and magical energy appears around him. Because of this, he was thrown several meters into the air. The guy fell into a hole and fell on stakes that pierced his body. Yan Hu is surprised by this and asks what is going on. The guys say there are traps everywhere. The 7th fell into a hole. Yan Hu tells the guys that this is an ambush and they should retreat. He must report the victims. The guy with the 2 silver stars says the 7th and 6th are dead. A guy approaches them who helps the other one to walk and says that the spear in the pit pierced the stomach of the 4th one. There was poison on the spear, so everything was bad. Yan Hu gets angry and says that it's all because of these little freaks. Lin Qiu asks, was he raised in a stable? Why does it prevent people from sleeping during the night? Yan Hu laughs and says that he hunted them all day and ended up being the prey himself. He releases his energy and says that no matter what level they are, they will die. Lin Qiu raises his hand and says that he will see who dies today. He snaps his fingers. All the guys raised their heads and looked at the top in surprise. At the same moment, several lightning strikes from the sky at once. He says they must attack now. Zhang Cheng uses a spiritual skill, Giant Fireball. The guy standing next to him is using a spiritual skill, Sea of Thunder. Yan, who is very surprised by what is happening and asks if they were really ambushed. He starts to run away, and he tells the others that they should run away in different directions. Lin Qiu calls Qin Zhen. She says she is ready. She releases her energy into the ground and uses the spiritual skill Ice Brand. A strip of ice crystals is directed towards opponents. The guys are surprised and ask what's going on. People notice that a huge fireball charged with electrical energy has been created above them. The guy tells the boss that the fourth one has died. Yan, who says this is great, wonderful. A strong aura appears around the remaining guys, and they say that they will now show them what real poison is. Qin Zhen remembers the difference between silver-level fighters and entry-level silver fighters. She thinks they have a very strong aura. They are all at the silver level. Lin Qiu says that in order not to become like the villains, it is important to remember that they are simply defending themselves. Qin Zhen says that he shouldn't say such stupid things, they need to be more careful. She understands that these guys are much stronger than them. She says that she will deal with their leader. The rest must stick together and deal with the rest. Lin Qiu wonders, did she decide to show off? He pats her on the shoulder and tells her that she doesn't need to be afraid, because he's here for a reason. Qin Zhen began to feel very embarrassed and said that she was not afraid. She leaves and says she will go first. Good luck, everyone. Lin Qiu tells the guys that everyone should be ready. He thinks that it will not be easy for her to fight against their leader, so he should finish quickly and help her. Zhangxin says that they are listening to his orders. Lin Qiu says that he must find a safe place and the others must protect him. This greatly surprises all team members. Two guys go to him and one of them asks, so he, only a bronze level, decided to die first. Lin Qiu says that he is just young. Why are they immediately trying to offend him? The guy is about to attack him, channeling his energy into his fist, and says that he must be prepared to die. Lin Qiu says that they must be extremely careful. The guy jumped high up and uses a spiritual skill, Tornado. Shen Gui says loudly that he should be careful. Lin Qiu dodges the tornado and notices that it is too slow. The guys are surprised by this and wonder if it really won't work with him. Lin Qiu strikes with his stick and throws both guys several meters away at once. He puts his foot on one of the guy's head and asks how could he fall. He didn't even apply 10% of his strength. Zhangxin says he is very cool. Lin Qiu says that this is not true at all, he just gave him a great stick. At the same time, Yan, who releases her energy and says that now she has nowhere to run, she must die. Lin Qiu uses his rabbit energy and heads towards them very quickly. He very quickly ended up behind Yan Hu, but he notices him. He strikes, but his opponent manages to dodge. Yan Hu looks around and asks, how is this possible? The second and third died. He, a simple low-level rabbit, how could he defeat them? He must have used some trick. Lin Qiu asks, what kind of lie is this? Is he really so ashamed to admit that someone's skills may be better than his? But since they were talking about tricks, he should try this. Yan Hu dodges his blow and says that he should be more careful. He should watch where he hits. He did not warn about such techniques. He jumps back a few meters and keeps an eye on his opponent. Several blades come out of his hands, and she releases a strong aura and says that he has made him very angry. He runs very quickly towards him, swinging his arms to attack him. He stabs with his claws and says he will make mincemeat out of this rabbit. Lin Qiu holds his hand using his stick. Unexpectedly, he is violently pushed back by a strong attack using magical energy. He landed on the ground, sliding several meters. He looks at his opponent and thinks that he has a very strong skill. He can't just fight like that, he needs to come up with something. Yan Hu runs to him and tells him that he should not be distracted. He struck, but Lin Qiu managed to dodge this attack. He also dodges many other very fast attacks. Yan Hu thinks that this freak is quite fast, he needs to deal with him quickly because his tiger rage will not last long. He runs to him and says that he must be a good boy. He should try his tiger whip for himself. Lin Qiu asks, what is he going to attack him with now? Yan Hu jumps up and spins and strikes with his tail. Lin Qiu blocks this attack and thinks that this whip is not a bad thing. The tail attack broke his weapon and damaged him. He wipes his face and says that it looks like silver-level abilities shouldn't be underestimated. Apparently, we'll have to come up with a more sophisticated way to defeat him. He thinks he should approach him. His days were over. He created a portal into which he himself entered. Yan Hu is surprised by this and asks where has everyone gone. He notices that his opponent was above his head, emerging from the portal. He asks how he did it. There's nothing wrong with that, if that's the case. He raises his fist and says he'll see how he handles this. Lin Qiu says loudly that everyone should attack now. Qin Zhen uses the spiritual skill of freezing. Zhang Cheng uses the spiritual skill giant fireball. A guy from their group uses the spiritual skill lightning strike. Yan who gets angry and wonders how this is possible. Where did this freak go? Lin Qiu used his portal and disappeared. He appears from another portal and says goodbye to this poor idiot. Immediately after this, there is a very strong explosion. He comes out of the portal next to Qin Zhen and says that they worked great. Yan who lies on the ground after being severely injured by the explosion. Zhang Sen approaches him and says that he is still alive. Qin Zhen is very surprised about something. She starts coughing and Lin Qiu notices this. She fell to the ground and continues to cough. He asks, is she okay? He thinks that the latest attack seems to have had an effect on everyone. He says that he knows that for all of them these killings are a new experience, but in this space, if they don't kill them, then they will kill them. They were forced to defend themselves. Moreover, he does not regret that he killed the freaks whose hands were covered in blood. They are here to stop crime and prevent more murders. They need to relax and unwind. They don't want to sleep next to a bunch of dead people, right? Zhang Sen says that in a dangerous situation, he completely relies on him. Lin Qiu turns around and says they should go. Sometime later, he tells the others that they should go rest while he and Zhang Sen will remain on guard. He used his healing magic and Lin Qiu says that's cool, he's fine now. Zhang Sen says that this is a very ordinary skill, he still has a long way to go. Lin Qiu pats him on the shoulder and says that he underestimates himself. Or is he trying to please him? Zhang Sen says he can call him whatever he wants. Qin Zhen comes up to them and calls him. He turns to her and asks why is he here. She says that he should go and rest while she and Lin Qiu will guard them. Zhang Sen tries to object to her, but does not have time because Qin Zhen says that she needs to talk to him. Zhang Sen runs away and says that he understood her, then he will leave them. Lin Qiu blushed and wondered what was going on. What has gotten into his goddess? What does she want to talk about? He blushed because she looked at him. He asks her not to look at him because he is embarrassed because of it. He wonders why she looks at him like that. Qin Zhen grinned and said that he has no shame at all and likes to show off. Lin Qiu thinks that he really gets embarrassed when the person he likes looks at him. Qin Zhen says it doesn't matter. In fact, she actually finds him a little attractive. Lin Qiu jumped back out of fear and asked who she was. What did she do to his Zhen? She extends her hand to him and says that she told the truth. Today he calmed everyone down when they started to panic and also helped them deal with that gang. This is what makes him attractive. Lin Qiu was very surprised by her words. He blushes deeply as he grabs her hand. He is embarrassed, but still asks if she has anyone. Qin Zhen was also very embarrassed by his question and asked what he said. She removed her hand and asked, "What kind of questions are these?" Lin Qiu starts to panic and thinks that he is an idiot. She's so cute that he couldn't help himself. He says that she just complimented him out of the blue. He hopes it's not out of pity. Qin Zhen says that he should listen to her. Her requirements for a guy are very high. Her chosen one must be better than her in all aspects. Lin Qiu asks, isn't this about him? He thinks he is very lucky. This is definitely not a coincidence. Qin Zhen is very embarrassed and says that he may be better than her now, but only because she has forgotten about her studies. When the test results are known, then they will know who is number one. Lin Qiu asks what will happen if his result is better. He thinks that he received an invitation, and he did not intend to take the exams, but now he needs to take it more seriously. He asks if he wins again, will she be his girlfriend? Qin Zhen is embarrassed and says that he wants too much. Shen Gui comes closer to them and says that it is time for them to change. Lin Qiu leaves and tells Qin Zhen that they will see each other tomorrow. She gets angry and turns away from him. The guy notices this and asks why is she angry. The next day, Lin Qiu stands up and says 9527 that he must awaken today's skill. The robot says that skill extraction is starting. In the system window, it is written, strengthening the aura of his rank. The robot congratulates the host on receiving the aura enhancement skill. He immediately begins to strengthen. Lin Qiu wonders if the aura can be strengthened. He broke through to the 5 bronze star level. He wonders, did he immediately go up 2 levels? This is very good, but could the robot be more generous and upgrade it to silver or gold? The robot says that he wants too much. He is already very lucky. He should know when to stop. They will meet again tomorrow. Lin Q comes out of the tent and thinks that he is now a 5th bronze beast and the strength of the 6th level of silver. This is magnificent. Zhang San is chopping vegetables and notices that he is awake. He is surprised to sense his aura and asks if he really broke through to 5 bronze stars. Out of surprise, he lost his vigilance and cut his finger. Lin Q and Chengming approach him because they are worried about him. She takes out a handkerchief and says he needs to be careful. Zhang San blushes and is surprised by her soft skin. Lin Q asks, is he okay? Why was he so surprised? Zhang San asks, isn't he shocked that he broke through 2 levels at once? Everyone who heard this asked, what did he say? Did he go up 2 levels at once? Is he even human? Lin Q says that he gained a lot of experience yesterday, which is why he broke through so quickly. They should stop making fun of him. Chengming uses his ability and says that they must be prepared to defend themselves. A large group of people is moving towards them. Lin Q was very surprised when he saw something. He sees a lot of monkeys, and the system notifies that these monsters are elusive, temperamental, and extremely difficult to tame. The monsters attacked the girl and began to tear her clothes. Lin Q says they have to be careful. They are ghosts. They need to protect the girls because these monsters are prone to attacking them. The girls should not fall into their hands. They begin to run away from the monsters that are running after them. Zhang Xin breathes heavily and says that he can't run that fast. Zhang Cheng says that he can't do it anymore either. Lin Qiu thinks that this cannot continue. They will not be able to escape from these monsters. The guy stops and says that he is running out of strength. Shen Gui also stopped and said that even though they are young, they will fight like heroes. The monsters continue to run towards them at high speed. Lin Qiu broke the stick and thinks that this seems to be the only way. Qin Zhen tells him that she is begging him to promise her something. He asks what she wants to ask. She says that if they lose, then he must kill her. She and Chengming imagine what could happen and say that they would rather die than end up with these animals. Lin Qiu stood in front of them and said that they don't have to worry because everything will be fine. He thinks that he will protect her even at the cost of his own life. The girls begin to create magic circles. He rushes forward and says that he will delay them and they must be ready to attack. He runs straight into the crowd of monsters and wonders if they, a herd of wild animals, decided to touch his goddess. He strikes with his sticks and knocks all these monsters away. The monkeys scream loudly with rage and rush towards him with great speed. Qin Zhen looks at Lin Qiu and thinks that he is fighting these monsters, but they surround him. Suddenly she is attacked by one of these monsters, and this scared her very much. Lin Qiu very quickly stood in front of her and protected her, stopping the monster's attack with his stick. He hits the monster's head with a stick and says that they will only go through his corpse. At the same moment, another monster attacks him from behind. The monster struck with its paw and severely wounded him. Qin Zhen says that they have prepared and he should get out of the way. Lin Qiu holds his injured hand and agrees with them. He jumps back and the 3 people begin to create a very strong spell, releasing their magical energy. They release their energy into the crowd of monsters. Zhang Xin stands among the bodies of the killed animals and asks, did they succeed? Chengming uses her ability and says they should wait. She senses a bunch of beasts approaching them. At the same moment, a large number of monsters appear on the horizon. She says that now there are even more of these monsters. Is this their leader? Lin Qiu thinks that their spiritual and physical strength is almost gone. It won't be easy. Chengming starts crying and says that she doesn't want to die like this. She hasn't even dated anyone yet. Zhang San looks at her and says that for her sake he could. He takes out his phone and says that he won't let anything happen to her. He raises his hand with the phone and says that he must come out immediately. He presses a button on the phone. A guy appears in front of them and tells the young master that he need not be afraid because Zhao Roman 11 is already here. The guy holds a cigar in his hand and turns to Zhang San. In the system window, it is written that this guy's name is Zhao Roman 11. The level is awakened at the gold level, the skill of turning into an orangutan beast. Zhang Xin points his finger at him and says that he took his father's cigar again. Zhao Roman 11 tells the master that this is just a small thing. Zhang Xin says that he must kill these monsters and then he will not say that he took the cigar. Zhao Roman 11 says that he can handle this without any problem. These monkeys can't do anything for him. He releases his energy and because of this his clothes begin to tear. Qin Zhen says that his aura is very strong. Is this gold rank? Zhang San agrees and says that this is his gold level guard. He should go ahead and teach these monsters a lesson. Xiao Roman 11 emits a very strong aura around himself, and jumping up, he flies towards the monsters. The leader of the monsters says in his own language that he must move out of the way and let them pass. Another monster says that this orangutan is equal in strength to him. The leader of the monsters begins to release his aura and screams loudly in a fit of rage. Xiao Roman 11 grabs this monster's hand with great force. He begins to easily slam this monster into the ground several times. The monsters are depressed and say it looks scary. The boss is about to be beaten up. They have to run away from here. Xiao Roman 11 releases his energy and pushes the monster leader away. The monster falls to the ground with tremendous force, and magical energy continues to fly into its body. The monsters are very afraid, looking at Xiao Roman 11 and asking him not to come near them. He roars in rage and releases his very strong aura. The monsters are very afraid of him and begin to run away from him. Lin Q says that the power of gold rank is really scary. Xiao Roman 11 puts on his jacket and tells the gentleman that the problem is settled, so he will go. Zhang Sun says he did a good job, he doesn't have to worry about the cigar. Xiao Roman 11 jumps very high and says that he is grateful to him. Cheng Ming asks, so he was always there for them. Zhang San agrees and says that it shouldn't just be him. He turns to the guy from their group and says that his family also wanted to send someone for secret protection, but it was decided to send only Xiao Roman 11. He apologizes and says that he didn't want to tell everyone about this meeting. The guy says that he doesn't need to blame himself. If they knew that they were being protected, they wouldn't be able to show themselves with dignity, but now everything is different. The experience of the last days had given him a lot. There is now a ton of spiritual energy in his body. He had a breakthrough to 9 bronze stars. Lin Q is surprised and wonders, is this really a breakthrough? Cheng Ming also had a breakthrough, and she says that she did it too. Lin Q takes out the sphere and thinks that since everyone makes a breakthrough through experience, then he can too. Magic energy appears around him, and he decides to try. Energy begins to gather in his body, and he feels this flow of energy. Maybe he too will have a breakthrough. He hoped with all his might that he would have a breakthrough, but he did not succeed. Everyone laughs at him quietly, and he says that he thought he could break through. It took him a very long time. The robot asks the host if he recently made a breakthrough and wants more. He can only dream about it. Lin Q says that he remained at the bronze level. He notices that something is wrong with one of the spheres. In the system window, it is written that this is a silver spiritual sphere of the lion's roar skill. Can immobilize an enemy for several seconds. The duration depends on the level. He thinks the silver sphere has a rare skill. He calls Zhang San and he approaches him. Lin Q looks at the orb in his hand and says that he just found this orb. It seems to him that he will need it more. Zhang San is very surprised by this and asks if he really wants to give him this rare orb. Lin Q remembers that he likes the girl and asks, he thought he liked Cheng Ming, so why not give it to him? Zhang San says that he is really very observant. He really likes her. He imagines that she will feed him and tell him that he should be careful because it is hot. Zhang San says that she is very gentle, kind, and a good cook. She will be a great wife. Lin Q wonders if he is really planning to start a family. Zhang San says that as soon as they return, he will transfer 2 million to him. Lin Q was surprised by this and said that this way he can become a millionaire. That's great. Zhang San looks at the sphere and says that he is very happy. He wants Cheng Ming. He doesn't finish speaking because she asks, does he want what? He is surprised to hear her and asks how long has she been here. She says that she saw them together and became curious about what they were doing here. Zhang San says they didn't do anything like that. Lin Q chuckled and thought that even at this moment he is still shy. He needs to help him a little. He pushes Zhang San and he starts to fall. He gets down on his knee and asks if she will accept this. Cheng Ming is surprised by this and asks, is this a silver sound system skill sphere? Did he really buy it for her? Zhang San agrees and says that he bought it for her. This orb is very rare. Cheng Ming hugged him and thanked him for it. He gets embarrassed and says that there is nothing special about it. Sometime later, Qin Zhen Zhen takes out a map and says that they should pack their things because it's time for them to move out. Lin Q agrees with her, and the others ask them to wait for them. They continue walking towards the huge, snow-capped mountains. Qin Zhen Zhen says that this is where the forest meets the snowy mountains. They will stop here. Lin Q agrees with her. People begin to set up a tent and prepare wood for the fire. He notices that Qin Zhen is uncomfortable about something. He takes off his jacket and hands it to her, telling her that she should put it on because she must be cold. She accepted it and thanked him with a smile. The next day, Zhang San stands by the fire and says that breakfast is ready, they should eat. Lin Qiu comes out of the tent and thinks that 90 and 527, he should get to work. The robot says that preparations for learning the skill are beginning. Acquired rank E marksmanship skill. He congratulates the host on acquiring this skill. Lin Qiu is upset and says that he is E rank again. He will no longer call him by his name. Maybe a better provider of useless skills. The robot gets very angry about this and says that he should shut up. Lin Qiu thinks that today's skill is too bad. He needs to find something sweet. He took a piece of bread into his mouth and asks Zhang San to give him honey. He immediately hands him the jar and asks if he also likes bread with honey. He has good taste. Unexpectedly, the jar was stolen by a big bear. Lin Qiu waves his hand and asks where is his honey. Zhang San asks didn't he take it? The bear begins to growl very loudly and they notice him. This is a snow bear, a silver rank spirit beast. Chengming uses the spiritual skill lion's roar and says that they don't have to be afraid because she will help them. Shang Cheng channels his energy and everyone else also prepares for battle. The bear was very frightened by this and in its own language asks that they did not do this. After some time, they stand next to the body of the defeated bear. Qin Zhen says that with his immobilization ability, their team has become much stronger. She leaves and says that they need to pack up, they need to move on. Today, they must reach their destination. Chengming goes with her and asks if they will go to the fox's den today. She's so excited. Qin Zhen goes to Lin Qiu and asks what is wrong with him. It's time for them to get ready. He turns to her and says that he is almost finished. This spirit beast is full of treasures, they will throw it into their space. Qin Zhen is surprised that he put a whole bear in his pocket and says that he cannot do that. Lin Qiu says that everything is fine, it's not hard for him. She says that if this is the case, then they should move on. 3 hours later, they walk towards the snowy forest. Qin Zhen says that the map shows that they are not far from the foxhole. Chengming uses her ability and says that she can feel it. There are 32 snow foxes next to them, they must be careful. Shang San is surprised by this and asks, are there really that many of them? Qin Zhen and Lin Qiu hear a sound and turn around at the same time. They see a small black and white fox next to them. The girls were surprised to see him and said that he was very cute. Lin Qiu thinks that this beast does not look dangerous. In the system window, it is written that the snow fox, silver rank, has a soft temperament and is easy to tame. He must make sure that he does not harm their clanmates, otherwise he will face endless persecution. Lin Qiu thinks that Qin Zhen came here to get the snow fox orb, but she seems to like it. What will she choose? He calls her by name and says that they have a soft temperament, it won't be difficult to get the same thing. Qin Zhen was embarrassed when she heard his words. Lin Qiu asks if she needs their help. She looks at the little fox she is holding in her arms. She lets the beast go and says they can forget about it. If she kills innocent creatures just for the sake of magical skills, then how will she be different from the guys who were chasing them before? It was enough for her that she met such a cute animal. Lin Qiu thinks that as expected from his goddess, she is very kind. Zhang San says that as expected of her, she is tough. Qin Zhen says they should go back. Lin Qiu says she should wait. He stands in front of the girls and says that they may not be able to return now. 2 huge foxes approach them, emitting an aura around them. The monsters begin to growl with a very menacing appearance. Lin Qiu says he thinks they thought they were trying to snatch their child. Qin Zhen asks what should they do. The little fox begins to walk towards his relatives. He approaches the big animals and explains everything in his own language. The huge foxes calm down after hearing the explanation. Lin Qiu says that this little fox is very smart and explained everything to them. Qin Zhen asks, is this true? This is great news. Shang San says the good thing is that they didn't do anything to the little beast. By the way, does he understand the language of animals? Lin Qiu is embarrassed and says that he just loves animals. He thinks it's good that the system gave him this skill. He goes towards the foxes and says that he will see if this sphere is useful to him. Qin Zhen and Zhang San were very scared because of him. She says that he should be careful because these are silver-level beasts. Lin Qiu says they don't have to worry. He takes out a sphere and says that their goal is these spheres. If he has one, she hopes they'll share it with him. He offers an exchange. The foxes begin to explain something in their own language. Lin Kato listens to them carefully and asks, "Is this true? So if they help them defeat their enemies, will they give them one?" He gets angry and asks what kind of enemy is this, who dared to touch such cute animals. They will destroy them all. The fox says it's a snow bear. Lin Q is surprised by this and asks, so their enemy is a silver-level snow bear? This can't be. He starts looking in his bag. Throwing the bear's body out of his space, he asks, were they talking about this bear? The foxes are surprised and say that it is really him. He is their hero. The fox hands him 2 spheres and says that he can take it. Lin Qiu took these spheres and thanked him for it. He gives the sphere to Qin Zhen and says that they got this sphere from their ancestors. They are ready to give them 2 of them. She thanked him and said that now she can master the skill. The group members begin to rejoice and say that she should act and feel this power. Lin Qiu says he wants to see it. Qin Zhen agrees. She extends her hand with the sphere in front of her, and the energy from this sphere begins to be released. Very strong energy is concentrated in her hand, and ice appears in her other hand. She creates a bow out of ice and imbues it with very strong energy. She fires a shot, and Lin Qiu is very surprised by this speed. The bow shot was so powerful that it destroyed the ground and trees nearby. People in her group say it's very cool. It's all over, now he'll never surpass her. Lin Qiu congratulates her on gaining a new skill. Qin Zhen is very embarrassed and says that there is nothing special about it, they should go back. Chengming says she should wait. They get together so rarely, they should take a photo as a souvenir. Zhang Sen runs towards the foxes and says that he has a proposal. Would he hold the phone for them? He hands over the phone and says the timer is set to 10 seconds. Chengming says he should run faster. They all got together and took a group photo. 3 days later, Lin Qiu looks at this photo. He laughs and says that the longer he looks, the more he likes it. His phone notifies that a payment has arrived. A total of 5,300,000 yuan were transferred to him several times. On his balance sheet, there are 6,108,000 yuan. Lin Qiu says that he received the money, and he also still has a sphere worth 5 million. The total income from this trip exceeded 10 million yuan. If he takes first place in the upcoming exam, he will be able to meet all of Qin Zhen's requirements. The robot asks who needs it anyway. Lin Qiu got angry and loudly asks what is wrong with him. He studies diligently, he began to read and practice every day, and he is now at the 8th bronze level. In the morning it absorbs the spiritual spheres. At lunch he reads books. In the evening he texts Qin Zhen good night. Lin Qiu says that these textbooks are very easy, he has already learned it by heart. So he should stop talking to him and give his skill here. The robot says that the process of extracting a skill begins, he hopes that something useless will appear. The robot congratulates the idiot host on obtaining the A-rank clairvoyance skill. Lin Qiu says that he can use this skill in the exam. And then he can use this skill to check if his goddess is being followed by any freaks outside her dorm window. The robot asks, isn't he talking about himself? A month later, the day the exam results were announced. Qin Zhen asks, are they the only ones who passed the exam? Zhang Sen says that they immediately came running to him as soon as they heard that the results had appeared. Chengming says she thinks she's definitely in the top 10. Zhang Sen says that he is confident that his girlfriend is the best. Lin Qiu is jealous of them and thinks they are disgusting to him. Qin Zhen took the mouse and said that they sent the results. She moves him away from the computer and says they should watch this quickly. Lin Qiu blushed and his nose began to bleed, wondering how he could resist her. Qin Zhen was very angry and said that what he did was truly unforgivable. A very strong oppressive aura appeared around her. Lin Qiu wonders what happened. She asks what happened to his grades. He looks at the monitor and asks what's there. On the site his data and subject are written: language 150 points, mathematics 150 points, foreign language 150 points, social studies 300 points, final grade 750 points. Qin Zhen is surprised by this and asks if this is the maximum score. Zhang Sen says that he looks a lot like a person who does nothing. Lin Qiu is embarrassed and says that he is not as simple as they think. He approaches Qin Zhen and is about to say something about the results. She blushed and said that you don't even have to check. She lost and admits that he is smarter than her. Zhangxin says that he is surprised that she admitted defeat. Lin Qiu has a nosebleed and says that she is very cute. He approaches Qin Zhenzhen and says that he is better than her and has money. When will they go meet her parents? She was very confused and asked what he was saying. He shouldn't say something like that. Zhang San approached Lin Qiu and said that it looked like he would have to endure for a long time. He leaves and says that then they will meet in half a month. He didn't forget about the car, did he? Lin Qiu says that he remembers everything. Sometime later, the day before the trip, he collects his things and thinks it's time to get ready. Even though he only lived here for 2 years, this is already home for him. He doesn't even know when he will be able to return here again. The robot says that he didn't think he was so sentimental. Lin Qiu says that he always ruins the atmosphere. He must give him the skill. The system notifies that skill extraction begins. Increase in his rank spiritual energy. Lin Qiu says he is lucky. Now he can improve faster. In the system window, it is written that the system will automatically enhance the host's aura. Lin Qiu asks it to stop and not do this. The robot asks if the host really doesn't want to become stronger. If you don't take the chance today, your skill will simply burn out. Lin Qiu says that he is stuck on the 8 bronze stars. He feels that he can break through anyway, so he has not yet used the reinforcement. He begins to absorb the spheres and says that he will see how many he can absorb. He thinks that with the help of the silver spheres, he can try to break through on his own. At the same moment, he has a breakthrough to 9 bronze stars, and he thinks that he has succeeded. Lin Qiu told 995 and 27 that he could now use the boost. The robot accepted his request, and after that, Lin Qiu broke through to 1 silver star. He was happy about it and said that he knew he could do it. The robot said that since the host was promoted to silver, a new skill was added to the system that allows him to control objects. The host can use this skill to absorb objects or move them from a distance. Lin Qiu thought teleportation. This is very cool, he needs to try it. He looked at his backpack with a smirk, and then suddenly reached forward and tried to pull it towards him. But he didn't succeed, and he asked what kind of skill this is. He has exhausted all his spiritual energy. 99527 laughed and said that the skill is not so easy to master, it takes practice. Lin Qiu asked, is he kidding? 99527 said that he needed to continue. He couldn't even cope with the weight of the backpack. Let him train hard so that his hands don't tremble so much. Lin Qiu tried to use the skill again and said that he was just exaggerating. The next day came. Lai Zhu was walking down the corridor and, noticing an open door, told Lin Qiu that his door was open. She looked into his room and saw a note on the table. She came closer and read. Lin Qiu wrote to her that he was going to Shanghai to study. Over the past 2 years, this place has become a real home for him. To avoid serious goodbyes, he did not speak in advance. He will definitely visit her when he has time. Lai Zhu thought, did he go to study? And it's true, he didn't say a word to her about it. She picked up the envelope that was lying next to the note and took out several bills from there. She was surprised and thought, where does so much money come from? Such a young guy could not earn such a sum honestly. At this time, Lin Qiu sneezed and Qin Zhenzhen asked, what is it? It's a little cool here, he can't catch a cold. Lin Qiu replied that everything was fine. Suddenly his phone rang and he answered the call. Lai Zhu shouted to him that this is not how it is done, she is worried, let him return immediately. Lin Qiu laughed and told her not to worry, he earned this money honestly. She replied that lately he has really been smart, he's doing great. He must work hard. A weak foundation can only be compensated by hard work. Lin Qiu agreed, and she said that if he finds a girl, then let him bring her to meet her. Lin Qiu agreed, and they started announcing the stop over the loudspeaker. Lin Qiu told Lai Zhu that they had arrived at the station. He would call her back a little later. The voice said that they had arrived at the station. They should carefully monitor their luggage. All 4 friends stood up and Zhang San told Lin Qiu that his family cares about him so much. Lin Qiu laughed and invited him to go. They went out to the station and an old man walked among the crowd. His name is Lu Chen. He is the deputy director of the university. He saw Lin Qiu and his company and told them all to come here. Lin Qiu asked Lu Chen where he came from. The deputy director laughed and said that he knew that he would come to them, but this was a feeling. I watched all his sparring sessions, he has great potential. Suddenly he felt something and thought that something was wrong. He asked, is he at the silver level? How much time has passed? Let him come to his office later. Lin Qiu thought, what is this? Why should he go to him immediately after arriving? After that, the man showed them to the men's dormitory and said that they would live in this room. The neighbors would arrive a little later. Lin Qiu thanked him for his help, and he and Zhang Sun entered their room. Zhang Sun said he was cool. He was able to break through silver in such a short time. Lin Qiu asked, does he know about this too? Zhang Sun said that since they will live together, perhaps the rays of his brother's fame and talent will touch him too. Lin Qiu thought that perhaps he would go to the deputy director. But first he called System 9E5 and 27 and began extracting the skill. 9E5 and 27 reported that the extraction was successful. He congratulates the host for obtaining the S-rank body strengthening skill. Lin Qiu thought, another body strengthening. The robot reported that the enhancement was activated. Lin Qiu said that he should check his current physical strength. 9E527 reported that the host's physical strength was currently equivalent to gold stars. Lin Qiu was surprised and thought, so theoretically he is at the gold level. 9E527 confirmed his words and said that by reaching this level, any physical improvement in the future would be SS rank. Lin Qiu thought this was great. He would be able to level up faster. Zhang San looked back and asked why he was still here. Let him not forget, the deputy director is waiting for him. Lin Qiu said that he remembers, it was just one little thing. He headed towards the exit and said that he was leaving now. After a while, he reached the deputy director's office and knocked on the door. Lu Chen told him to come in and sit down. Lin Qiu entered the office and asked if he could know why he called him. Lu Chen replied that he wanted to ask a few questions. Lin Qiu said that he was listening to him. Lu Chen said that he probably knew the class division. 7 levels: bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, myth, legend. If he remembers correctly, he is a beastman. Lin Qiu confirmed his words and Lu Chen asked, White Rabbit? Lin Qiu confirmed his words again and Lu Chen asked if he had any strange encounters. Lin Qiu scratched his nose and said that he did not understand what he was getting at. He thought, what kind of questions? Maybe he knows about 9E5 and 27. Is it possible? Lu Chen asked if he had ended up in a magic cave. Or did he drink some magic elixir? Otherwise, how could he grow so quickly? Since when did he have silver? Lin Qiu sighed in relief and thought that he was nervous. He thought he had been exposed. He needs to come up with something. He replied that it was all thanks to the spiritual realms. Lu Chen said that it was too fast. How many skills does he have? Lin Qiu looked away and asked, probably 7? Lu Chen asked 7. This is impossible, and he tells him this as a well-known professional in the country. He's met a lot of rabbits, but doesn't he have too much skill compared to them? He is a white rabbit. Lin Qiu said that in fact, his awakening has undergone evolution, which is why he can use the skills of the space system. Lu Chen was very surprised and asked, space system? Evolution of awakening? Lin Qiu said that it was hard to believe, but it was true. Let him look at the suitcase. Lu Chen thought that this really looked like a space system. He said that he knew little about this system. There was only one person in their country who had mastered it. Their director is Wu Yongjai. Lin Qiu asks, does their director have a space system? The deputy director replied that it was a pity that he was not here. He will definitely introduce them later. Does anyone else know about its evolution? Lin Qiu replied that Qin Zhenzhen and Zhang San knew about this. Lu Chen said that he should tell them to keep it all a secret. Lin Qiu agreed, and the deputy director raised his hand to his chest and said that let him hit him, let him use his maximum strength. Lin Qiu was very surprised, and Lu Chen said that during the last competition, he noticed that he was quite strong. He wants to feel it. Lin Qiu used his strength and asked for his forgiveness in advance, after which he hit him in the chest with all his strength and asked him if he was okay. Lu Chen's legs broke the floor from Lin Qiu's blow, and he thought, is this gold? He looks frail, but his body contains monstrous powers. He asked, has his physical strength reached gold rank? Lin Qiu confirmed his words and asked, does he want to continue? Lu Chen asked, continue. He will deduct the money for the floor repairs from his stipend. Lin Qiu replied that he should not treat him like that. The deputy director said that there was one more thing. In 3 months, he would have nothing to do with Lin Wu, but since his strength had reached gold, he decided to knock out a place for him. Lin Qiu replied that he did not want to, so he would rather deduct the money from his scholarship. Lu Chen said that there will be competitions there, which are far superior to school competitions. Lin Qiu replied that he didn't care about that. The deputy director tried to hold him back and said that these competitions have generous prizes. The main prize is 5,000. Lin Qiu immediately turned around and told him not to worry. He was ready to defend the honor of the academy. Time passed. Lin Qiu returned to the room and Zhang Xin said that here were their neighbors. Lin Qiu saw the green-haired guy and greeted him, barely holding back his laughter. He couldn't restrain himself, and the guy exclaimed that he would only say this once. He was born with that hair color. He didn't dye it. Lin Qiu thought, how did he know what he was thinking? Can he read minds? The guy asked what he was saying. Isn't it all written all over his face? This guy's name is Zhang Hongyang, and he has 9 bronze stars. Lin Qiu looked at the second guy and asked, is this his father? Did he come to help him with his things? He greets his uncle. The guy got angry and Lin Qiu thought, what's wrong with him? The guy asked, did he mix anything up? Zhang Sen told Lin Qiu that he was also their neighbor. The guy showed his ID card and Lin Qiu was surprised, saying that he was 17, he was 6 months younger than him. Why does he look like that? The guy replied that he was not going to answer this question, although he hears it all the time. Zhang Hongyang laughed and said that they now need to deal with responsibilities. Zhang San agreed and said that they should take out their ID. All the guys took out their cards together and Lin Qiu said that he was the eldest. Zhang Hongyang cursed and said that he thought it would be him. Lin Qiu asked what should he call him now. Zhang Hongyang got angry and replied that he could call him whatever he wanted. Lin Qiu was a little surprised and said that they would sort it out. After that, some guy looked into their room and said that everyone needed to come to the meeting. Lin Qiu turned around and said that they were already coming. They all entered the audience together and all eyes turned to their neighbor Lin Qiu. They called him teacher and greeted him. The guy immediately said that he was their classmate. A girl coughed behind Lin Qiu and he let her through. She entered the class and told everyone to take their seats. This girl's name is Han Junning. She has a platinum level awakened beast. The number of stars is 8. She is a rare 9-tailed fox. She walked to the middle of the class and told everyone that she was their advisor. They could contact her at any time for any question. Today they gathered for 2 reasons. Firstly, to get to know each other and choose a prefect. First, they need to introduce themselves to everyone. She said her name and said that she is a platinum 8-star beast, a 9-tailed fox. She loves to play sports. They will now be introduced one by one. She pointed at Zhang San and said that they would start with him. Zhang San stood up from his seat and said that his name is Zhang San. He is a silver-level healer. He likes his classmate Cheng Ming. Cheng Ming immediately blushed and Han Junning laughed and said that now the next one. Lin Qiu stood up from his seat and said that his name is Lin Qiu. He is the silver awakened rabbit. He loves everything beautiful in this world. Han Junning asked him to wait and said that everyone already knows him because of the competition. He is a rabbit. Lin Qiu was surprised and one of his classmates said that he had heard about this guy, but never thought that he would be in their class. His friend said that he was a rabbit. Maybe they took him through connections. Lin Qiu thought, let them think what they want. Han Junning asked the next student to introduce himself, and after a while they finished. Han Junning said that since they got to know each other a little, then she suggests choosing a headman. Everyone who finds themselves here is worthy of becoming a prefect. She selected several silver-level candidates who scored more than 700 points. And these are Qin Zhenzhen, Lin Qiu, Wu Yangqian, and Roman 11 Ma Yang. All named students came to the board and Han Junning said that they could talk about themselves for 2 minutes. Who will be first? Roman 11 Ma Yan said that he would go. He has a silver 2-star beast, eagle awakening form. Han Junning said that then he would be the first. Roman 11 Ma Yang greeted everyone and said that he would like to thank the consultant for the opportunity to run. Since primary school, he has always been a prefect. He has a lot of experience. He believes that if they choose him, their class will become the best in the academy. He relies on their votes. Lin Qiu's neighbor said that they were the best students from all over the world. Why would they choose him? Zhang San agreed and Han Junning thanked Roman 11 Ma Yang for his passionate speech and said that Lin Qiu would be next. Lin Qiu took the microphone and thought that this was so troublesome, he was not interested in all this. He greeted everyone and said that he did not want to be a prefect. Let them vote for Qin Zhenzhen instead. Han Junning said that this was the strangest election speech she had ever heard. The next one will be Qin Zhenzhen. She thought that this child was just something. Qin Zhenzhen picked up the microphone and said that let them vote for her. She thanks them. Han Junning asked, is that all? Qin Zhenzhen confirmed her words and Cheng Ming said that as expected from her sister, she is a true ice queen. Jang Sen and Lei Diane said that she is the best, she has a unique aura. Han Junning said that this was the shortest speech she could remember, and finally it was Wu Yanqian's turn. Wu Yanqian stepped forward and thought that Qin Zhen was quite popular, but in her opinion, she was not a threat. She walked past the students and the guys said she was so pretty, she was so hot. Wu Yanqian took the microphone and said that her name was Wu Yanqian, she had nothing more to add. She is an awakened one of fire, has 3 silver stars. Let them vote for her. All the guys immediately agreed and Lin Qiu thought that he and Qin Zhen had completely different styles, but at the same time they were both very popular. Time passed. Han Junning said that the votes had been counted. Let them prepare to hear the name of the new headman. And with the most votes, Qin Zhen wins. Let them all congratulate her. Second place went to Wu Yanqian. She becomes deputy headman. Wu Yanqian got angry and asked who dared not vote for her. Lin Qiu thought that it was somehow colder here. Han Junning smiled and said that the village chief election has come to an end. She hopes they will all get along well. Now is the time to discuss military training. Their preparation differs from the usual training complexity. They cannot miss classes. Missing military training will result in expulsion. Their trainers are real experienced special forces fighters. They will train them like real soldiers. Lin Qiu asked what kind of special forces. Roman 11 Ma Yan asked, has he not heard of them? Wu Yanqian told Lin Qiu that they were the best team in their country. Their levels are far beyond their comprehension. She thought that this guy was good, she should engage in a conversation with him. She came closer to him and asked if he knew that they had several similar units. Lin Qiu didn't hear her and thought that they must have some cool spirit beasts. She asked if he could even hear her. Lin Qiu did not answer and thought that maybe someday he would have his own beast. The day of military training has arrived. All the students gathered on the site and Chang Ming asked Jang San, has he lost weight? He replied that he could not eat, he missed her so much. Lin Qiu heard their conversation and thought, has he lost weight? Aren't they ashamed of lying to each other? He secretly looked at Qin Zhen and thought, when will things be like this for them? This outfit suits her so well. Suddenly someone saw something in the sky and told the others to look. Several huge eagles flew over their heads and one of the warriors told the others to land. The eagles began to descend and the warrior said that the first day of military training was beginning. His name is Lin Chong. He is the chief of military training. He is a chief instructor, a lieutenant colonel, and also a squad leader. He said that, to be honest, he was not eager to teach them. Lightness and pleasure are not about soldiers, but they are flowers from greenhouses that have not known all the cruelty of this world. But because of the order, he has no choice, so he will prepare them, and the others will help him with this. Another man greeted the students and said that his name was Qin Ming, and he would be their instructor next month. He has the power of 3 stars, gold, and also a metal awakener. Lin Qiu named the names of the instructors and said that their names were strange. The rest of the students laughed, and Qin Ming thought that this year's freshmen are so arrogant. Never mind, he'll see who laughs last. He took out a notebook and said that since they were full of energy, then first let them run 10 laps. Using force is prohibited. If detected, they will have to run 5 more laps. Lin Qiu and Jang San exclaimed, 10 laps. Lin Qiu thought, isn't this too much? Qin Ming told them to start. Whoever doesn't run will be left without lunch. The students ran several laps, and one of them said that he couldn't do it anymore. Qin Ming thought that as expected, after 5 laps, the laggards appeared. It is easy for him to understand physical fitness by the way they run. He looked at Lin Qiu's running and opened his file, thinking that this guy was running differently. He only has silver, and he manages to run ahead of everyone. Meanwhile, Qin Zhen and Wu Yanqian were already out of breath from running, and Lin Qiu thought that Qin Zhen seemed tired. He slowed down and caught up with Qin Zhen asked, is she tired? Maybe they can run together. She replied that she was fine, let him keep running. Lin Qiu thought that she was so stubborn. Wu Yanqian took Lin Qiu's hand and said that she was so tired. Maybe he can help her? Lin Qiu immediately pulled away from her and said that he would not help her. She asked why. Lin Qiu ignored her and told Qin Zhen that he would then run forward if anything happened, let her call him. Qin Zhen agreed, and some time passed after that. On the 9th lap, Roman 11 Ma Yang was already noticeably tired and thought that it was already the last lap. He was running first, and this ugly rabbit continued to chase him. He won't lose to him. He sped up and Lin Qiu thought that he would have to restrain his strength and run side by side with him. If he ran at full speed, he would probably have already completed 20 laps. It seems his physical fitness is higher than the rest. Roman 11 Ma Yan sped up again and thought, is this nasty rabbit looking down on him? The majestic eagle cannot lose to the rabbit. He accelerated again, and when he saw the starting line he thought he could survive, he couldn't lose. He sped up even more and Lin Qiu thought, why did this guy suddenly speed up? Let him calm down, he won't fight with him for first place, second is enough for him. Why is he rushing like that? Lin Qiu caught up with him and Roman 11 Ma Yang thought that he could not yield to him. He asked, is he still here? He closed his eyes and then rushed forward and said that he worked hard, he couldn't lose to some rabbit. But suddenly he stepped on a stone and tripped, thinking, how did he manage to do this? Lin Qiu finished first and thought that this guy was a real idiot. Because of him, he finished first. Roman 11 Ma Yan asked why he worked so hard for. To come running second. The instructor congratulated Lin Qiu for first place and asked, he is Lin Qiu, right? Lin Qiu nodded and the instructor said that this was great. Even after 10 laps, he was not exhausted. Lin Qiu, did he really overdo it? He immediately started clutching his back and said that he was so tired, his elbow, his lower back, his knees, everything hurt so much. Kinming thought, did he decide to play the fool? He said that in any case, he remembered it. Lin Qiu thought that he had ruined everything. He looked at Roman 11 Ma Yan and thought, something is all about him. Because of him now, he will be watching him. Roman 11 Ma Yan asked why he was looking at him like that. Next time, he will not give in to him. Lin Qiu thought, is he serious now? He turned away from him and said that at first glance, he just seemed like a moron, so he looked again to make sure. Roman 11 Ma Yan told him to shut up. He is also an animal, and he, a rabbit, cannot defeat an eagle. So he is his food. Lin Qiu replied that he was afraid he didn't know him well. After that, the rest of the students reached the finish line and Kinming thought that they were finished. He thought they could move on to the next test. He ordered everyone to gather and said that now he had an idea about each of them. They will move on to the next exercise. Everyone should do 5 sets of 100 push-ups. Zhang San tiredly covered his face with his palm and said that he was finished. He no longer feels his legs, and now he will also lose his arms. Kinming said that everyone will train themselves. Let them not be lazy, they need to do the calculations themselves, then they will report to him. The students started doing push-ups, and the instructor said that he would keep an eye on them. Whoever decides to deceive him will be punished. Now they can begin. Roman 11 Ma Yan thought, push-ups? He can definitely win. Lin Qiu began to do push-ups very quickly and Roman 11 Ma Yan thought, this guy is a monster. How did he get it done so quickly? Lin Qiu thought that he didn't care anymore. It didn't matter whether he held back or not. The instructor had already noticed his strength, even if what he noticed was just a drop in the bucket. Kinming watched Lin Qiu and thought that this guy is incredible, he needs to keep a good eye on him. He noted in his notebook that he needed special attention. Some time passed, the students tiredly fell to the ground and Kinming said that the last group had finished. Roman 11 Ma Yan said that this instructor is a devil. Wu Yanqian lay down on the ground and said that she was terribly tired, she could no longer do anything. Kinming said that the morning training is over, they will continue after a 2-hour break. Roman 11 Ma Yan asked, will there be another training session today? Kinming asked, he doesn't seem happy. He will give him a chance, in the afternoon he can challenge him. He will suppress his level so that they are equal. If he wins, he will be exempt from military training for a month and will receive the highest grade in the magazine. Does anybody want? Roman 11 Ma Yan asked, is he sure that he can lower their level? Kinming confirmed his words and said that he had 3rd gold, but he could easily drop to silver. Roman 11 Ma Yan agreed and said that he accepted his offer. The instructor laughed and said that was good. Lin Qiu thought, did he challenge the instructor? This is interesting. He asked, can they use weapons? Kinming confirmed his words and asked what kind of weapon he had. Lin Qiu replied that it would be a gun. Kinming asked, does he want to use a gun? Even though he has gold, he is powerless against bullets. Lin Qiu said that he was talking about the spear. Kinming said that they would see each other after lunch then. He left and thought that he should have immediately said about the spear. Lin Qiu said goodbye to him and Zhang San asked, is he also going to challenge the instructor? He will root for him. Meanwhile, the vice principal and Lin Chong watched the training from the cameras. Lin Chong said that this guy is much stronger than others. Is that why he pays so much attention to him? Lu Chen said that he is his favorite among the freshmen, and he deserves it. Lin Chong said that if this is his choice, he will accept it. Lu Chen said that he had personally selected a few people, let him train them well. Lin Chong said that everything will be done. Lu Chen put his hand on his shoulder and said that this is great, and let him drop his criticism. This wound has been disfiguring his face for several years. Why doesn't he heal it? Lin Chong replied that he swears he will not touch the wound until the culprit is brought to justice. He left it to remind himself of the pain he experienced. The deputy director said that so many years had passed, and he still had not let go of the past. Well, he can only wish him to find him as soon as possible. Lin Chong said that he already had a couple of ideas about this. He believes that this day is just around the corner. Time passed. Ling Qiu was looking for something in the bushes, and Zhang Xin asked what he was doing. The test is about to begin. Ling Qiu replied that he was looking for a suitable weapon. He took the mop and asked if his previous weapon wasn't broken. Zhang Xin agreed, and at the same moment Zhao Roman 11 appeared behind him along with a spear. Zhang Xin pointed to the golden spear and said that this is a very rare alloy spear. Let him take it. Lin Qiu asked, "Is this true for him?" He took the spear and said that it looked deadly and the shape was very beautiful. He is so caring. Zhang Xin smiled and said that he was glad that he liked it. Qin Ming said that it looks like they are ready. Who will be first? Roman 11 Ma Yang approached the instructor, and Lin Qiu said that apparently they had already started, and Roman 11 Ma Yang would be the first. Ma Yan told the instructor that he will defeat him. He has the second silver, so he asks for forgiveness in advance. Qin Ming thought that he had already fought with beast people, among whom there were also strong birds. He asked, "Is this true?" Let him remember to take off his shirt before turning. Ma Yan did not listen to him, and his hands turned into wings. Then, with one jerk, he rose into the sky and flapped his wings. Lin Qiu said that this was the first time he had seen such a transformation. It's not bad at all, and the movements are so elegant. Meanwhile, the wind flow reached Qin Ming grinned as he blocked the blow. Roman 11 Ma Yang mentally cursed, and Lin Qiu thought that the instructor actually had a rare metal awakening. No wonder he accepted this challenge so easily. Will anyone be able to break through his metal armor? Roman 11 Ma Yan got scared, and then went down to the ground, and the instructor asked, "Does he have enough spiritual strength? Will he give in on his own, or is he a masochist?" Roman 11 Ma Yan gritted his teeth and said that he was giving up. Qin Ming said, "Let the next one go." Wu Yanqian came forward and said that she had the third silver fire element. Let him teach her. Qin Ming said that they will start then. Wu Yanqian released a fireball, and Qin Ming thought that this fireball did not cause much damage, and it was not difficult for him to dodge it. But since she challenged him, she probably has more than just this ability. But it doesn't matter, he needs to attack. He rushed forward, and Wu Yanqian smirked and then used a surprise attack. She released a stream of flame directly at the instructor, and he was surprised, but managed to block the blow, and she said that she would be merciful. After that, a huge tornado of flames appeared, and Qin Ming thought that this freshman was incredible. The fire began to approach him, and he used the steel barrier skill to defend himself. He thought that because of her, he would have to resort to his special skills. The temperature of this flame is about 1,500 degrees. It is difficult for it to hold on. Suddenly, the flow of flames began to weaken, and Wu Yanqian fell to the ground, saying that she could no longer do it, she was giving up. Qin Ming said that she was good. Qin Zhen had been watching them all this time and decided to challenge the instructor. She came forward and said that her name is Qin Zhen. She has 4 stars, ice element. Qin Ming thought, 4 stars in the first year? This is great. Qin Zhen asked if he could rest. She doesn't want to win just because he's not feeling well. The instructor replied that his spiritual power was more than enough. They moved a fair distance away from each other, and Qin Zhen told him to be careful. Qin Ming took a fighting stance and said that they were starting. After that, Qin Zhen shot an ice arrow at him, and Qin Ming thought that she was strong. He smashed her ice arrow and thought, "Who are these guys? One is stronger than the other." Qin Zhen was continuously shooting fire arrows at him, and he thought that he would need to cover his entire body with metal to counter her abilities. He would have to attack her point blank. But Qin Zhen shot at him again, and he thought that as soon as he got close to the girl, these arrows would appear. He tried to block the blow and thought that she had broken through his defense. She had tricked him around his finger. Lin Qilu, watching their fight, thought that the instructor could not even get close to her even once during the entire fight. His Qin Zhen Zhen is amazing. At one point, Qin Zhen Zhen raised her hand and said that she was giving up. Her spiritual strength had dried up. Qin Ming caught his breath and thought that he was so tired, but he was able to hold out until the end. He asked if there were anyone else interested. Lin Qiu stretched out his hand and said that he was Lin Qiu who awakened the silver one-star beast. Qin Ming thought, has he finally decided to participate? It is his powers that interest him most. Lin Qiu asked, doesn't he need a break? He got hurt pretty bad during the fight, right? Qin Ming replied that everything was fine. He was recovering quickly. He thought that fighting someone of his level wouldn't take much of his strength. Suddenly, Lin Chong came up to him from behind and said that he should restore his strength and attack to the fullest, otherwise he would lose. Qin Ming asked in surprise, is he asking him to give it his all? He is sure. Lin Chong confirmed his words, and one of the students asked if he had heard right. The instructor is a very strong person with 3 gold stars. Another student agreed with him and said that their instructor was very strong. He doesn't think any of them can defeat them. Roman 11 Ma Yan thought that he would beat the vile rabbit to death. Qin Ming sat down on the ground and said that then he would rest for a while. Lin Chong walked towards Lin Qiu and said that Teacher Lu had already told him, now let him tell him about himself. Lin Qiu, did he tell him everything? Lin Chong nodded and said that absolutely everything. Lin Qiu asked about outer space too. Lin Chong asked outer space. Lin Qiu realized that he did not know about this and said that he heard it. He said animal transformation. Lin Chong thought that he heard what he said clearly. If he has it, then he should help him. He said that he should help him teach Qin Ming a lesson. He seems to have become arrogant lately. Qin Ming heard this and asked if he was looking up at him. Does he think he will lose to Silver? Lin Chong said that if he loses, he will do 500 push-ups. Does he agree to this? Qin Ming stretched his hands and said that he just wanted to do push-ups. Lin Qiu thought, what are they doing? He doesn't want to become famous, on the contrary, he wants to keep a low profile. And how can he restrain himself now? Qin Ming took out his weapon and told Lin Qiu to transform into a beast. Lin Qiu replied that his power was not transformation. Qin Ming asked in surprise, what did he say? He thought, the main power of an awakened beast is not transformation. He will not tolerate his insolence. He threw a spear at him and said that he would regret it. Lin Qiu thought that it seemed like the instructor didn't spend much time training, personally relying on his own abilities. He only made a couple of awkward movements and dodges, but after that he wouldn't call him a professional. Lin Qiu repelled the attack, and the students began to support the instructor. Lin Qiu thought that such an attack would be easy to counter if he found a flaw in it. He swung his spear and thought this was his chance. He hit Qin Ming. He was very surprised, after which he was thrown to the side and his spear broke. Qin Ming fell to the ground and Lin Chong thought that the teacher was right. This guy's physical strength is probably gold level. Zhang Hongyang asked, is he from their dorm? This is incredible. From now on he is his faithful comrade. Zhang Zhen said that this is truly their invincible elder brother. Qin Zhen Zhen thought that Lin Qiu had become even stronger. This weak rabbit surpasses her time after time. It is impossible to catch up with him. But it doesn't matter if such a person is next to her. She clicked on Lin Qiu and wished him luck, thinking that she would also succeed. All the students started wishing Lin Qiu good luck, and saying that he was so cool, and he thought, what happened? The students shouted that it was a great fight. Qin Ming stood up and thought that he should not let him become arrogant. He took out his weapon again and said that he really wasn't very good with spears, but daggers were his element. Lin Qiu thought that he agreed. His skills left much to be desired, and it was not the weapon at all. He asked what next. Qin Ming got angry and said that he would kill him. He understood. Lin Chong noticed that Qin Ming had become more serious. Each of these weapons has its own strengths and weaknesses. The spear is suitable for long-range attacks and allows you to fight off enemies without close contact. The disadvantage is that it is extremely inconvenient to use in close combat. With the dagger, it's the opposite. Qin Ming and Lin Qiu attacked each other, and Lin Qiu, moving to the side, thought, is he a metal awakener? His defense is at a good level, and he can do some magic with weapons. Qin Ming thought, how dare he be distracted? Lin Qiu realized that he had noticed this and decided to separate the spear. He parried the blow, and Qin Ming thought, did he separate the spear? At the same moment, Lin Qiu rushed at him, and he decided to use defense, thinking that this guy was too strong. It's good that he listened to the advice and regained his strength a little, otherwise he would have come to an end. But could not resist Lin Qiu's blow and was thrown back. All the students were surprised, but Qin Ming quickly rose to his feet and thought that in terms of strength he was absolutely in no way inferior to him. How can an awakened beast have such physical strength? Lin Qiu thought that he was tired, he was really strong, but this all took too long. They looked at each other and Lin Qiu thought, does he want to continue, or has he changed his mind? Qin Ming was thinking at this time, if he continues, how will this all end? Lin Qiu said that they were obviously equal in strength. Maybe they will end in a draw. Qin Ming agreed and said that since he is still a student, he cannot use most of the techniques on him yet. They shook hands and Lin Qiu thanked him for his mercy. He is sure that if they continued, he would definitely win. He thought that if he used cosmic power, he would win. Qin Ming said that to be honest, he did not suppress his skills in the battle with him, even though he promised, so he still won. He allows him not to participate in the preparation. Lin Qiu was overjoyed and thanked the instructor, saying that he would love to continue their lessons, but he had been feeling sick the last few days, so he obeyed his order. Zhang Xin said as expected from Big Brother. Roman 11 Ma Yan asked why he was so good. No one should be better than him. Yu Yanqian said that this is cool, she needs to get to know this handsome guy better. The instructor asked the other students why they got up. Didn't they run 10 laps this morning? Let them repeat it. Whoever does not run will be left without dinner. Zhang Sun began to beg for mercy and said that he could not cope without his elder brother. Roman 11 Ma Yan was upset and said that he had to run away again. Qin Ming pulled Zhang San by his clothes and said that it was time for him to go back to the path. Lin Qiu wished him luck and Lin Chong approached him from behind. Lin Qiu turned around and looked at the head instructor with slight surprise. Lin Chong put his hand on his shoulder and asked if he wanted to go for a ride with him. Lin Qiu asked, right? Just the two of them. Bad thoughts crept into Lin Qiu's head and he said that he had things to do. Lin Chong said that he understood and he wanted to fly with him. Lin Qiu asked, did he want to fly? Does he mean riding an eagle? Lin Chong asked how he knew that their animal was a thunder eagle. He was studying spirit beasts, right? Lin Qiu replied that before that, his elder brother told him about various spiritual beasts, including the thunder eagle. Lin Chong called his eagle and asked, is his elder brother? The eagle landed in front of them and Lin Chong asked what he thought of the beast. Lin Qiu looked at the eagle and said what he would say, and let him correct him if something happened. He approached the eagle and said that if he understood correctly, then eagles enter service as chicks. They are either brought from the ruins while they are still small, or they hatch already in the barracks. Lin Chong asked how he knew. Lin Qiu replied that he just knew. He thinks it's a waste of time. Lin Chong asked what he was talking about. Does he think he is unworthy of the eagle? Lin Qiu asked him to calm down and said something that was not what he wanted to say. Something is wrong with the diet. Are the eagles raised by them not smaller in size than wild ones? Lin Chong remained silent and Lin Qiu asked, they regularly go on forays for chicks and eggs, right? Their average lifespan is 100 years, and they barely live to 50, is he right? Lin Chong thought that the research department had been puzzling over this for so many years, but this child just took it and understood everything. He asked how he knew all this. Lin Qiu replied that he said so, he was told about it. He thought that thanks to the resurrection skill, his beast master skill had risen to the level of an expert. Lin Chong asked if there was any solution to the problem. Lin Qiu replied that he thought there was. Lin Chong said that he should follow him then. Lin Qiu asked, is he allowed? After all, he needs a couple. Lin Chong asked, wasn't he exempt from military training? Let him not worry, he takes it under his own responsibility. He called Lu Chen and said that it was him. Let him take that kid for a couple of days. He promises he will return him safe and sound. After that, Lin Chong led Lin Qiu along, and he asked, can he not go? Lin Chong did not agree and said that if he did not go, he would be given a pass. He doesn't want to be expelled, does he? He sat on the eagle and thought that all men were deceivers. Lin Chong ordered his eagle to move forward and Lin Qiu became scared as they suddenly flew into the sky. After a while, they arrived at a secret base, and someone said that it was Commander Lin Chong. They landed and Lin Qiu got off the eagle, thinking it was such a cool place. He saw in front of him several buildings located between the mountains and Zhenyun. The chief of staff of the Animal Transformation Department came out to meet them. He asked in surprise why the commander returned so early. Didn't he have things planned for these days? Lin Chong pushed Lin Qiu forward and said that he had brought a real treasure. Lin Qiu looked at him in fear and asked, "What the hell is the treasure?" "Let them explain to him what is happening here." Lin Chong said that if he was wondering why he brought him, he invites him to come with them. He wants to show him to the team leader. Zhen Yun replied that there was no need, they could go. Lin Chong walked forward and told Lin Qiu to follow him. They began to climb the mountains and reached the terminal. Lin Qiu thought he was going to take him to the leader, but here it's just a wall. Maybe the leader will jump out of the wall now. Lin Chong pressed a button and the ground began to tremble. Then the mountain split in two and began to move apart. A door appeared in front of them and Lin Qiu said that it scared him. This is technology. They went inside and Lin Chong said that there are a lot of things here. He will see something even more shocking. Lin Qiu looked around the research center and thought that it was like another world. Inside, researchers raised chicks, while others simply went about their business. Lin Qiu saw the spirit beasts and said that there are a lot of spirit beasts and explorers here. They occupied the entire mountain. Lin Chong asked, "How is he? Isn't that impressive?" Lin Qiu walked up to the capsule and said that this is a real crime, they are feeding them pork, and it is harming them. He looked at the beast and said that there was also a griffin. "Oh well, that's okay." Lin Chong pulled him by his clothes and Lin Qiu said that he had not yet finished listing their mistakes. Lin Chong thought that since he was not afraid of so many problems, it would mean that they would be easy to solve. He led him to another door and Lin Qiu asked, "What is this?" Lin Chong replied that they didn't even have time to introduce him. "This crazy woman is probably up to her neck in research again." He raised his foot and said that in that case they would do so. After these words, he knocked down the door and Lin Qiu clenched his teeth. The whole room was covered in dust and Lin Qiu asked why so cruel. They saw a woman in the room and Lin Chong said that their main task was to awaken Shen Zin from deep thoughts. Lin Qiu pointed his finger at the woman and asked, was he talking about her? Lin Chong confirmed his words and said that this was their leader. She is a gold-level demon awakener and also has 8 gold stars. Lin Qiu thought demon? He asked, does this really exist? Lin Chong confirmed his words and said that this type of awakening was as rare as his space system. It also has its advantages and disadvantages. Lin Qiu asked, does he know that he is the carrier of the space system? Lin Chong responded by asking, was he going to hide this from him? But they won't talk about it. He will wake her up, but for now let him hide over there. Lin Qiu asked why he needed to hide. He replied that she goes into a demonic state when she is disturbed. Even he cannot be 100% sure that he can cope with it. Lin Qiu hid, and Lin Chong walked up to the leader and thought that the worst that could happen was that he would be beaten. But he is ready to fight. He touched her shoulder, and at the same moment she took pistols from her belt and started firing. Lin Chong began to dodge the bullets and Lin Qiu thought, is she crazy? Did she really decide to kill them? He looked out from behind the cover, hearing that the shots had stopped and thought that it seemed that the cartridges had run out. But Shen Zin went into demon mode and her eyes filled with rage. Then her head grew horns and she rushed to attack. Lin Chong was scared for a moment, but regained his bearings and used the stone wall skill to defend himself. But she immediately broke through the defense, and then Lin Chong used the stone skin technique, thinking that it seemed that this girl had become stronger again. He wouldn't be surprised if she was close to 9 stars. Lin Chong used skills one after another, and Lin Qiu thought that her attacks were so powerful that the head instructor, even with 3 layers of defense, was inferior to her. At one point, Lin Chong looked at Lin Qiu and said that it seemed like he couldn't do it anymore. He thinks he needs his help. Lin Qiu replied that he understood, and then rushed forward and bumped into the computer. He thought, is this a parameter for hatching a firebird? This parameter is set incorrectly, and even if the bird hatches, it will definitely have some shortcomings. Lin Chong shouted, why did he get up? Let him call for help. Lin Qiu called out to him and said that there was something wrong with the parameters for hatching the firebird. Shen Zin became interested in him, and Lin Qiu said that he knew how to do everything right. Shen Zin returned to her normal state and asked, is he telling the truth? Lin Qiu looked at her in surprise, and she said that she had been doing this for a long time. 1 egg still did not hatch. Where is the problem that she couldn't find? Lin Chong thought that she had finally woken up. It turns out that she is so easy to wake up, and he just endured beatings for so many years. Shen Zin turned to the commander and asked if he woke her up again. Doesn't she hope there's something urgent this time? Lin Chong put his hand on Lin Qiu's shoulder and said that he knew that her latest research had reached a dead end, so he brought her a spirit beast expert. Shenzhen asked, "Is he?" "Such a kid, and already an expert. Let him not make her laugh." She laughed, and Lin Qiu thought that he understood everything, but she shouldn't look down on him. If the chief instructor weren't here, he would have shown what a kid he is. He took a notepad out of his pocket and threw it on the table and said that the parameters she entered were incorrect. First of all, the temperature in the incubator is too low. So some kind of spiritual beast of the fire element, it has high fire resistance. Usually the mother bird breathes flame onto the egg. In order to speed up the process of hatching the chick, the temperature must be raised to 500 degrees. In addition, in order for the chick to hatch, spiritual energy is needed. They should place several spiritual spheres next to the egg, and the chick will absorb this energy itself. Shenzhen said that they watched birds and saw them hatch eggs and scorch the eggs with flames, but this is the first time she has heard about the spiritual realms. Lin Qiu asked, "Was she there?" "What is the main difference between their habitat and their reality?" Shenzhen understood and said that it was an aura. There the eggs absorb the energy that surrounds them everywhere. Why didn't they think about this? It's incredible. He's truly a professional. Lin Qiu smiled and replied that it was natural. Shenzhen grabbed his hand and told him to come with her. They will create a new life. Lin Qiu asked, "Will they create a new life?" She said that if he could hatch these chicks, she would recognize his talent. Or does he not want to help them? Lin Qiu replied that he would help. He stopped and said that there were more important things to do now. Shenzhen asked, "What is it?" Lin Qiu took her hand and told her to forget about it. They should just run. Lin Chong asked, "Where are they going?" After that, the scientists turned to the voice of Lin Qiu, who said that he had important information. His name is Lin Qiu. He's here to give them some advice. He discovered that they made many feeding mistakes. The researchers approached him, and one of them asked who he was. They are specialists, and he is just a teenager. What is he talking about? Another researcher agreed with his colleague and said that they had done a lot of research. There was no point in him interfering with them. Lin Chong said to keep quiet. Let them speak one at a time and behave decently. He looked at Shenzhen and asked how to make them believe him. Lin Qiu said that he understands that words alone are not enough, so he will show their mistakes in practice. He needs an eagle. Can they lend him this? He promises he will not cause harm, he will help them. The researcher said that spirit beasts are precious. Is he allowed to dispose of them as he wishes? Lin Chong thought that these guys didn't know him well, so they didn't want to cooperate. He pointed to the door and said that they should open the gate and let his eagle in. The researcher was surprised and said that this was not a good idea. Lin Chong replied that everything was fine, he trusted him. After that, a man came inside and told the commander that his cutie was here. The huge thunder eagle looked at its owner and Lin Qiu asked, "Do they call the thunder eagle cutie?" Lin Chong confirmed his words and asked, "Is there something wrong?" "It's really cute." The researcher told the commander to think again. His bird had just reached gold. Lin Qiu told Lin Chong that he needed an awakening drug, alcohol, painkiller, and a scalpel. Lin Chong said that he is a healer, and the rest is already there. Lin Qiu walked past them and said that then let him follow him. The healer told the commander that he would go, but if something happened to the petition, he would not take responsibility. Lin Qiu petted the eagle and thought that thanks to his taming skill, he was well versed in spirit beasts. The eagle should have one place on its head. If it strokes it there, it will make it clear that it is friendly. The bird itself began to climb under Lin Qiu's arm, and he said that he liked it so much. Lin Chong asked why it obeys him. Lin Qiu did not answer and said that they could start. Lin Chong thought, how did he manage to tame the proud beast in such a short time? After that, the eagle lay down on its back and Lin Qiu told the healer that he should give it a lift. After that, he climbed onto the eagle's belly and extended his hand, asking for pain relief. The healer gave him a huge syringe and Lin Chong thought, will everything really be okay? No matter how strong he is still a student. Now he will definitely need pain relief. Lin Qiu said that he needed boiling water. Let him pour a mug into his stomach area. Lin Chong began to worry and thought, is he going to boil his eagle? Lin Qiu began to pull out feathers and Lin Chong, sighing in relief, thought that he was just pulling out feathers. Lin Qiu finished and said that he now needed a scalpel. The spectator looked at the commander and Lin Chong thought, is he really going to cut? Lin Qiu told the chief instructor that since he decided to believe him, then let him believe to the end. Lin Chong thought that he believed him. After that, he said that they should give him a scalpel. The man brought a tray of instruments to Lin Qiu, and he took a scalpel, saying that he was going to begin the operation. He made an incision, and everyone saw that they were under the skin of the eagle. Lin Qiu thought that of course it was fat. He said that he needed to get rid of this fat, let it help him. Lin Qiu and the healer began to extract the fat together, and after that, Lin Qiu said that he should quickly use the healing skills. The healer began to use the skills and said that there was no problem with this, he could trust him. After that, Lin Qiu got down from the eagle and Lin Chong asked, why did he cut out this cute fat? Lin Qiu replied that it was because the thunder eagle doesn't need that much fat. Has his pet had any chicks yet? If you eliminate excess fat, the bird will not only become stronger, but will also be able to give birth to new life naturally. Lin Chong asked why there was so much fat on the eagle's body. Lin Qiu asked, is he asking him? All because they feed them pork. They will have to switch to lamb or beef in the future. There is fat there too, they can handle that much. Lin Chong asked, beef or lamb? He will observe the situation and make a decision. Shenzhen ran to the eagle and told them to look. The eagle slowly opened its eyes and then fully woke up and began to flap its wings. Everyone was happy and said it was great. The cutie woke up. The eagle proudly spread its wings and with its cry said that it was no longer cute. Lin Chong thought that the cutie had truly begun the second phase of development. Its height increased to 15 meters, it was able to reach platinum. Lin Qiu walked up to the eagle and told the instructor that it wanted to fly with him. Lin Chong asked, is this true? Does he really understand animal language? He touched Lin Qiu's shoulder and said that he was now beginning to believe that he was a true spirit beast expert. The researcher told Lin Qiu that it was great. He apologizes for the misunderstanding. Lin Qiu replied that everything was fine, he would show them some mistakes. He hopes they can fix them. He is sure that after this, the strength of their team will reach a completely different level. The researcher agreed and Lin Qiu said that firstly, in the future, thunder eagles will not be able to be fed pork. He continued to give advice, and after that, Lin Chong took him to the restroom and told him that he could rest here today. Night came, Lin Qiu got out of bed and thought that he was so tired. While talking with scientists, he did not notice how night had fallen. He can finally sleep. But suddenly someone touched his back and he turned around in fear, seeing Shenzhen in front of him. He called out to her in surprise and then jumped up and asked what she was doing in his room in the middle of the night. She winked at him and said that she just went and came in, but that's not about that now. She lay down next to him and told him to look here. Lin Qiu said that she should not lie on the guy's bed without permission. She handed him the notebook and told him to look at it. Lin Qiu asked, has the chick hatched? The parameters are correct, but somehow too fast. Shenzhen said that she used the golden spirit spheres. Lin Qiu thought that they usually use ordinary ones. He had never seen anyone waste such precious resources. He lay down on the bed again and asked why she disturbed his sleep. Shenzhen said that she needed to discuss something with him. She moved closer to him and said that she wanted to become his student. Let her teach her how to handle spirit beasts. Lin Qiu said that he was just a student. Shenzhen moved closer and asked, so what? Let him become her teacher. Lin Qiu thought that this woman was a real devil. He sat on the bed and said they could try. Shenzhen was happy and said that he should take care of her. Lin Qiu said that she should not thank him, after which he kicked her out of the room and said that she could go, classes would start tomorrow. The next day, a sleepy Lin Qiu came out of his room and thought that he was really sleepy, and the chief instructor seemed to be on his way out with his cutie. And what should he do? At that very second, Shenzhen appeared in front of him and wished the teacher good morning. What will they learn today? Lin Qiu said that he needed to think of something. Has she been waiting for a long time? Shenzhen replied that not very long ago. Lin Qiu said that he doesn't know how exactly to teach her, so let her ask and he will answer. Shenzhen followed him and said that they had found the eggs of the ice bird, but the hatching was unsuccessful. What is the problem? Lin Qiu replied that everything is simple. The main thing is the temperature. The incubator should not have above 0 temperatures. Once they figure it out, everything will go swimmingly. Shenzhen said that she understood. After that, she started asking questions, and he thought that he had a headache from all these questions. He finally got to the laboratory, and one of the researchers said that expert Lin was here. Another researcher called him a teacher and said he needed him to operate on the thunder eagle urgently. Shen Zin asked Lin Qiu why they were unable to feed this individual. Lin Qiu did not have time to answer the questions and said that there were too many questions. Let them stand in line and speak one at a time. Time has passed. Lin Qiu lay on the bed, taking a break from the questions he had been asked for the past few days. Suddenly an alarm sounded and Lin Qiu woke up. He got out of bed and saw people running in the window and heard an announcement that everyone needed to come to the square. He thought, what is this sudden noise? Something happened. He ran outside and met Shen Zin, who was also running into the square. He asked what was going on. They reached the square and she said that their captain had returned and immediately sounded the alarm. But something serious must have happened. Lin Qiu thought, unit captain. Ko Gai, the captain of the unit who awakened the beast with 8 diamond stars, said that he had an urgent message for them. A few days ago, it was discovered that a transnational criminal group had appeared in their country. After several days of surveillance, the unit commander found their lair, but his team has other important tasks. That's why they decided to select the top 10 and form a group from them. This mission is very dangerous. Are there any volunteers? Several people raised their hands, and one of them said that he would go. He had the maximum gold. Ko Gai agreed and said that they definitely deserved to be part of their division. By the way, he heard that the commander was supposed to bring a certain Lin Qiu. Lin Qiu heard his name, then raised his hand and said that it was him. Ko Gai asked what kind of child is this? Does he feel like he hasn't seen it before? Shen Zin said that he is an expert the commander brought him. He is very cool and taught them a lot. She listed all his merits and Ko Gai, laughing, said that he was a talented kid. But how can he take such a dangerous person on such a dangerous mission? If something goes wrong? Lin Qiu said that he volunteered, so he takes responsibility for any consequences. He thought that he hoped the head instructor could help him. Ko Gai said it was such a waste of talent. He's a good guy, but... Shen Zin said that if he just let him go, she would protect him. Ko Gai looked at her and said that this was not like her. He looked at Lin Qiu again and said that this mission could cost him his life. Is he sure he wants to go? Lin Qiu confirmed his words and Ko Gai said that this is good, he is not a timid person. He handed him a stack of documents and said that this was the information received. He should study this carefully. He'll pick someone up and they can go. After that, he returned to the crowd and Lin Qiu thought that the mission was about to begin. Time passed, Lin Qiu flew with Shen Zin on the Eagle, and he said that this mission has its own difficulties. They are dealing with a group of mercenaries who commit crimes by arson, murder, robbery, and committing all kinds of atrocities. In the documents that the commander gave to Lin Qiu, it was written about the members of the group. The leader of the group, Buck Tikfer, is 8 platinum stars, incredibly dangerous and strong. Deputy Commander Mark Cruz, 5 platinum stars, masters the element of wind, good at investigations and intelligence control. Team member Wu Qi is a wanted criminal and is on the run. He is a perpetrator of mass murder and also a member of a mercenary group. Pak Bu-tun is an excellent sniper and explosives expert. Mimiko Matsushita has gold-level healing skills and is the group's healer. Echuo has gold-level earth power and is the tank of the group. Lin Qiu said that the opponent is strong, but they are not a failure either. Shen Zin said that the problem is that they are all in crowded places. If they attack, it will lead to unnecessary casualties. Besides, they have an explosives expert, they need to be careful. It would be great if they had a space system awakener. Lin Qiu thought that now he understands what motivated the instructor. What an old fox. Shen Zin's phone beeped, and she said that they were almost there. In the evening, they arrived at the border city and Lin Chong said that they were finally here. Shen Zin and Lin Qiu approached him, and she apologized for the wait. How did they find that guy? Lin Chong asked, is she talking about Wu Qi? They were just lucky. He and his cutie flew out for a walk, and he accidentally met him. Since he had been wanted for a long time, he naturally recognized him and followed him. Lin Qiu asked why it took him so long to contact them. Lin Chong replied that he was very careful for several days and led him by the nose. Before arriving at the right place, he and the cutie were watching him from the sky, so they were not able to rest. Luckily, he saw that he had returned to the group's lair. He pointed his finger at the building and said that they were in that hotel over there. He shouldn't show a worried face. The street is probably being monitored. He wished the team a pleasant holiday. Let them prepare. The battle will not be easy. The next day came. Shen Zin watched the street through binoculars and Lin Qiu asked, how is it? Is there any progress? Shenzin replied that he went out to buy breakfast. Nothing after that. Lin Qiu looked at the sleeping Lin Chong and said that the chief instructor had been watching him for several days. He must have been very tired. Watching from afar is not the best option. Why don't they go for a walk to take a closer look? Shenzin replied that it would be nice, but they left in such a hurry that she did not take suitable clothes. Lin Qiu took out his clothes and said that there is no problem with this, he has it. He thought that Zhen Zhen had just left something at his house last time. Shenzin exclaimed, "Where did he get these clothes from? Definitely not from your pocket. How did he put his stiletto heels in his pocket? Why does he even have women's clothes with him? What's wrong with him?" Lin Qiu replied that he just thought it might come in handy. He gave her some clothes and told her to clean herself up. Shenzin ran into another room and told him not to worry. After that, they went outside and the men began to look back at Shenzin. Lin Qiu said that she should not squeeze his hand so tightly. She asked, "Isn't that what couples do?" Lin Qiu said that they had arrived. Shenzin turned around abruptly and said that she was thirsty. Lin Qiu looked back out of the corner of his eye and saw the sniper and thought that they were really here. Is this a sniper scope? He looks at them. He immediately pulled Shenzin towards him and told her not to twitch. They were watching them. She agreed and said that she couldn't do this anymore. It was too hard for her. Her vision is not as sharp. Maybe they could climb higher and look around. Lin Qiu grinned and said that he had an idea. He asked, "Can she stand it any longer?" They can rent a room. After that, they went to the hotel and Lin Qiu said that they needed a room on the 3rd floor. The girl at the reception apologized and said that there were no available rooms on the 3rd floor. Lin Qiu said that it was then on the 4th. They need a sunny side and a pleasant interior. The girl agreed and said that if they showed their ID cards, she would register them. Shenzin said that she did not take hers. She looked at Lin Qiu and asked, "What about him?" Lin Qiu apologized and said that they arrived in a hurry, forgot their ID, and they hadn't even had time to eat yet. He came closer and quietly told the girl that he had taken something and was finding it very difficult to restrain himself. The girl blushed and then said that this wouldn't do. According to their hotel's rules, Lin Qiu did not listen to the end and threw several bills on the table, and the girl said that their room was 404 on the 4th floor. Here is their key. She wishes us a good time, and their hotel is also famous for its excellent soundproofing. Lin Qiu and Shenzin headed to their room, and she, laying out the wiretapping devices on the table, thought, why do they need soundproofing? They are here just for wiretapping. Lin Qiu put on his headphones and said that he still couldn't get a signal. Suddenly he heard something and thought that he heard, it seemed, it was a girl. Shenzin also heard the sound and said that there is a sound, and it is nearby. She adjusted the sound, and the two of them heard the girl moaning, and their faces turned red. Shenzin wanted to say something, but he shut her mouth and told her to be quiet. There are other signals. Shenzin adjusted her headphones, and they heard two men talking. She asked what they were talking about. She speaks 8 languages, but does not understand them at all. Lin Qiu told her to be quiet. He was listening. He thought that fortunately he had the skill to speak the language. The owner of this skill speaks all human languages on Earth. He listened, and after that Shenzin asked, did he understand what they were talking about? Lin Qiu replied that they spoke Fulani. Besides the useless nonsense, he heard 3 key points. Firstly, this time they did not come here on their own initiative. Someone hired them. Secondly, they had to take something out of Country Z. Thirdly, they prepared a large amount of explosives. If this is not eliminated, the consequences will be catastrophic. Shenzin said that they are far from being the main figure. There is someone much stronger above them. Lin Qiu listened again and said to be quiet. They were talking on the phone. The man asked, product? One day. They will take it out of Country Z. He told the others that they were resting today. They would start tomorrow. If they succeed, they won't have to worry about money for the rest of their lives. The rest of the group agreed, and Shenzin asked Lin Qiu, what is it? Did he hear something? Lin Qiu replied that it looked like they had succeeded. They said that everything would be delivered tomorrow. After that, Shenzin's phone rang, and she said it was the captain. She answered the phone and asked what was going on. What about him? He replied that they had fallen into a trap and had lost what they were supposed to protect. Lin Qiu thought that what the captain was supposed to protect was lost. Maybe it has something to do with them. He told the captain that they had an emergency. A group of mercenaries will have to deliver something tomorrow. It seems like the people who attacked them had something to do with it. but this object is unknown. KO Guy said that they were trapped and couldn't get out. These guys are very strong. If they find out that their plan has been revealed, they might do something crazy, but he will send support to them. Shenzhen asked, can he tell them what exactly was stolen? KO Guy replied that he would no longer hide it from them. What was stolen is the lifelong research of Master Zhang Hong, who recently passed away, the ultimate model of the spiritual weapon. Their task was to send this information into the right hands, but they did not suspect that everything would turn out exactly like this. Shenzhen asked, spiritual weapon, is this really Master Zhang's design? KO Guy confirmed her words and said that he does not know who leaked the information, but they need to stop it all. Lin Qiu told him not to worry, they would do everything in the best possible way. After that, they ended the call and Lin Qiu asked what kind of thing this is. Shenzhen replied that this is the latest development in the field of weapons. It absorbs spiritual energy and increases it when attacking. Previously, it was only in the development stage, but Master Zhang unexpectedly achieved success. Lin Qiu said that Master Zhang is so cool. Shenzhen said that it was a pity that he was no longer with them. Lin Qiu winked at her and said that their country was prosperous because of people like him. They shouldn't give up, they need the data back. Shenzhen agreed with him, and after that they returned to Lin Chong and told him everything. Shenzhen asked, how about collaborating with the fire department? Let them evacuate people under the pretext of exercises. Lin Qiu thought that something was missing. He mentally told 19527 that he should awaken today's skill. 19527 reported that skill extraction is in progress. He received E-rank ground driving skill. Now he can drive any ground vehicle, including tanks and armored vehicles. He has acquired the repair skill and can repair any ground vehicle. Lin Qiu said indignantly that he had been obtaining E-rank skills for more than 10 days in a row. Is he making fun of him? The robot replied that the previous owner was too demanding, they need to maintain balance. He congratulates the host on awakening the E-rank ventriloquism skill. Now he can produce any sound. Lin Qiu thought, what is the use of this? Although perhaps the skill is not so useless. He turned to Lin Chong and said that he had a question. Where does he think they planted the explosives? Lin Chong replied that he thought they were definitely keeping some of it with them for self-defense. Lin Qiu said that then it would be easy for them to deal with. He has a plan. Will they support him? Lin Chong said that he was listening to him. Lin Qiu grinned and said that they needed to take the flame out of the cauldron. Shenzhen asked, what does this mean? Lin Qiu replied with a smile that he wanted to burn the hotel. Shenzhen exclaimed, is he crazy? Lin Chong said let him continue. Lin Qiu smiled and told the commander that he knew him. After the hotel catches fire, they will probably panic, and they will definitely not think about how to remove the explosives because it will attract too much attention. They will pretend to be police officers who are on the scene to help their foreign guests. He thinks that they will not refuse because they know that there are explosives in the hotel and that everything will soon blow up. They will definitely want to leave as soon as possible. Then they will take them to a place where there are no crowds of people so that they can deal with them. Lin Chong asked, if they eliminate them, how will they get the information? Lin Qiu replied that they needed their phone or memory card, that's all. Lin Chong asked, what use is the phone to them? Lin Qiu replied that over the phone he could pretend to be one of them and invite the other party to the right place. Lin Chong asked, what guarantees are there? Lin Qiu replied that he would imitate one of them. Lin Chong replied that this is not a joke, those people know that guy well. Lin Qiu replied that with his phone, he could easily lure them to him to get back his lost data. Shenzhen asked what he can't do at all. He knows a lot about spiritual beasts, foreign languages, and also knows ventriloquism. Lin Chong asked, so he knows ventriloquism? In this case, it really might work. Can he guarantee that the explosives will be removed before activation? Lin Qiu replied that he promised he would take it from there soon. Lin Chong thought that there was no other option anyway. He agreed and told the others to listen to his command. The operation will begin at 8 p.m. After a while, in the Amer Hotel, room 404. It was 5 p.m. Lin Qiu listened to the conversations of the mercenaries and thought that there was still time before the operation, but he wanted to sleep. Shenzhen said it was so noisy downstairs. What is happening there? Lin Qiu replied that they play poker all day. She said that even when playing cards they do not use their tongue. She looked at the sleepy Lin Qiu and said that he looked quite tired. Doesn't he want to take a break? Lin Qiu replied that everything was fine, he would continue to listen. Lin Qiu closed his eyes for a moment and fell asleep. In his dream, he saw Shen Xin, whom he was pressing to the bed, and she asked him to stop. He thought, what the hell? Shen Xin asked him to stop with teary eyes, and he thought, how did this happen? Suddenly, he opened his eyes with a cry, waking up on Shen Xin's lap, and she said that he woke up. He got up and thought it was a dream. It's all because of these idiots below. Shen Xin said that since he was awake, they could start. Lin Qiu looked at his watch and said that he was almost late. Why didn't she wake him up? Shen Xin asked, is there so little time left? She just wanted him to sleep a few extra minutes. He got up from the sofa and thought that she pitied him so much, as if he were some kind of child. He said that she should find the radio and wait for the commander's order. Shen Xin replied that everything was ready. After a while, a fire broke out in the hotel and hotel guests began screaming about the fire. Meanwhile, on the third floor, a voice was heard in the corridor that told the hotel guests not to panic. They needed to cover their mouth and nose with a wet towel and go down the emergency stairs. The mercenary leader back Tikwer looked at Wu Qi and asked what was going on. Have they been revealed? He replied that it looked like there was a fire in the hotel. What should they do? How could a flame come out of nowhere? There's a lot of explosives here. Everyone needs to go after him. Pak Bu Tun asked what should they do with the explosives. Wu Qi asked, is he still asking? They'll leave it here. Does he want to take it with him? Wouldn't that reveal them? Buck Tikwer told them to stop talking. They needed to run quickly. Pak Bu Tong looked at the explosive with a smile and then activated it and said that explosion is an art. Time passed. Firefighters began to put out the fire and mercenaries ran out of the hotel. Lin Qiu radioed that they were out. The people landed their car under the pretext of evacuation. Everything is going according to plan. Lin Chong said that's great. The firefighters avoid the third floor. The explosives need to be dealt with as soon as possible. Lin Qiu agreed, and after that, he and Shen Xin ran into the building, and she told the commander not to worry. They entered the mercenaries' room, and Shen Xin radioed that they had found explosives in the room. Lin Qiu began to sort through the explosives and noticed that one of them had a timer running. He called out to Shen Xin and asked, does she know how to defuse explosives? Shen Xin replied that she only deals with spirit beasts. What is it? Lin Qiu said that they had activated the timer. Everything will blow up in 3 minutes. Shen Xin was surprised and Lin Qiu told her to think of something. There were a lot of people downstairs. She asked what could she do? The explosion will be huge. Does he think they will reach space? Lin Qiu asked space. This is a great idea. Shen Xin asked, did he come up with something? Lin Qiu used the any door skill. Since he has broken through to silver, the range of the ability will be increased to 50 meters. Lin Qiu thought that the range had increased to 50 meters, so it was much safer. He grabbed Shen Xin's hand and asked, does she like fireworks? She asked again, fireworks? After that, they went to the roof using the skill and Lin Qiu confirmed her words. Shen Xin looked around and said that he was so cool, they were at the very top. Lin Qiu looked at the explosives and remembered the free fall acceleration formula and thought that combined with his current spiritual power and this ability, he needed to make calculations. The best scenario is 1537 seconds. If he takes other factors into account, the acceptable time is 17 seconds. 30 seconds left before the explosion. Lin Qiu extended his hand to Shen Xin and told her to throw him as hard as she could. She looked at him in surprise and then took his hand and said that of course she would give him a lift. But will everything be fine? Lin Qiu replied that everything would be fine. 20 seconds left before the explosion. Shen Xin began to spin it and then threw it into the air and Lin Qiu thought that he had underestimated her. He flies even faster than he could have imagined. The faster it flies, the better. 10 seconds left before the explosion. Lin Qiu used his abilities and thought that he would simply open a new door with each jump, continuing to move upward. He looked at the timer and thought that there was little time left. He opened the doors and then threw explosives there and began to fall down, thinking that thanks to this movement he was able to throw the explosives another 50 meters up. There was a powerful explosion in the sky and Shen Xin thought that it was real fireworks. She smiled and said it was so beautiful. Lin Qiu, who was flying down, called out to her and asked for help. He gritted his teeth and thought that he had forgotten about the blast wave. It increased the speed of his fall. In this situation, he may die. He flew past the roof and looked at Shen Xin, who was running to his aid, thinking that she would not have time to catch him. Shenzin ran to the edge of the roof and then jumped down and grabbed Lin Qiu's leg. She grabbed the edge of the roof with her other hand and then jumped up and threw Lin Qiu onto the roof. He hit his back on the floor and said it hurt. He breathed a sigh of relief and said he was lucky she caught him. He wanted to say something else, but he saw that Shenzin had fallen on him and he quickly pulled away from her, saying that he needed to restore his spiritual energy first. They still need to find those guys. It seems they don't take their country seriously to plan such an explosion. Shenzin said that he moved so fast, he was incredible, he was in great shape. He thanked her and said that he still needed to regain his strength. Shenzin said that the best way to recover was to use a spirit pearl. She will give him a gold-level pearl. It is incredibly valuable. They will somehow settle down later. Lin Qiu asked, is she sure the pearl is golden? He used the pearl and asked if she always uses them to restore energy. Next time, let her show him the place where they can be found. After using the pearl, he said that he was recharged. Now they can move towards those idiots. Meanwhile, Lin Chong was carrying the mercenaries in a police car and Pak Bu Tong said that he did not like the sound. Buck Tikwer said that he should sit quietly. Lin Chong thought, why did everything explode? Were they able to prevent the explosion? Are the guys okay? There must be big losses in the city. They will have to put in a lot of effort to recover. Buck Tikwer asked Lin Chong where they were going. Lin Chong apologized and said that they had some urgent matters that needed to be attended to. They are almost there. Buck Tikwer remained silent and then told his subordinates in another language to be on their guard. It seemed to him that something was wrong here. Wu Qi replied that he understood. Lin Chong thought that they were there. The rest of the team is probably already ready. Their death is near. At the same moment, he turned sharply so that Pak Bu Tun and Buck Tikwer shouted that this man was not from the police. From Lin Chun's blow, Pak Bu Tun hit his head on the car window and Lin Chun immediately jumped out of the car, thinking that after the start of the battle they had lost only one person and not the strongest one. They began to fight the mercenaries and Lin Chong's subordinate said that she felt that something was wrong. It is a poisonous gas. They are all poisoned, she cannot use her power. This girl's name is Jasmine, she has a gold level, and she is also an awakened healer. Lin Chong asked in surprise, what does this mean? Wu Qi asked, he is a captain, but he doesn't know such simple things. He specializes in poisons. And he immediately felt that something was wrong, so he began to prepare in advance. Those who are weaker than him will suffer, as well as those who are stronger. Unfortunately, they forced him to release the poison. Lin Chong thought that the poison was so toxic, he felt as if it was eating away at his body. The rest of his team could barely stand on their feet, and he thought that the guy's reaction to the poison was even worse. Will they really die? Wu Qi asked what he should call him. Lin Chong replied that he would not hide his name. His name is Lin Chong. Wu Qi asked, so is he Captain Lin? He had heard a lot about him, as well as about the origin of his scars. Lin Chong asked, does he know where he is? A rhinoceros appeared behind Wu Qi, and he asked why he needed this information. He's going to die soon anyway. The rhinoceros charged, and Lin Chong used his defensive skills, and then grabbed the rhinoceros by the horn and threw it over himself, throwing the beast towards the mercenaries. Wu Qi petted his rhino and told the others to calm down. Those who are weaker cannot use their skills due to the poison. Deputy Commander Mark, with the power of 5 platinum stars and the element of wind, channeled his power into Lin Chong and told the others to proceed. A powerful stream of wind headed towards Lin Chong, but he erected a stone wall in front of him and said that they should not even think that they could harm them. Meanwhile, the rhinoceros recovered and rushed to attack, but Lin Chong noticed this too late and decided to defend himself with a barrier. His subordinates called out to him, and Yang Fan said that he must escape to avenge them. Jasmine agreed with him and said that they still wouldn't survive, let him save himself. Lin Chong told the mercenaries that if they wanted to kill them, they would have to deal with him first. He thought that once he had already committed a similar offense, betraying his comrades. All these years he blamed himself. Mark used his power again and sent the wind blades towards Lin Chong, telling him to get it. Wu Qi said that they should just deal with him. He won't last long, right? The wind blades wounded Lin Chong, but he continued to defend himself, and yet at one point the barrier cracked, and he backed away, coughing up blood. Yang Fan called out to the captain, and Wu Qi rushed to attack, saying that he should let him finish him off. Lin Chong thought that he could not escape his fate. It's a pity that he won't be able to save the guys. Wu Qi had already raised his blade, But at the same moment, a red car appeared and knocked him down, and Lin Chong was surprised. Lin Qiu laughed and jumped out of the car with Shen Zin and said that here he was, appearing like a bolt from the blue. He asked the captain if he was still alive. What's happening? Why is he beaten so badly? Lin Chong replied that they had fallen into a trap. They did not know that poison would be waiting for them, that they would all be poisoned. Mark looked at Wu Qi and told the leader that he was hit by a flying police car. Buck Tickwer told everyone to calm down in their language. He called out to the healer and said that she would take care of his treatment and let the others go to him. Lin Qiu said in Fulani that they need one more second, they need to prepare. The mercenaries were surprised and thought that this guy understood the language they were speaking. He not only understands, he can also speak. Buck Tickwer said that they should not listen to him, they need to attack. Mark rushed forward and Shen Zin transformed into a demon. The mercenaries became alert and Shen Zin rushed forward, telling them to die. Echuo, an expert in earth elemental techniques and also the tank of the mercenary group, erected an earth wall and Mark said that it had a murderous aura. Did he want to die? Shen Zin jumped over the earthen wall and then walked towards Echuo and swung her hand, tearing his arm with her claws. Mark asked, "Is this the power of 9 gold stars?" Buck Tickwer said that he is an idiot. The power of a demon is a serious matter. They need to try to attack together. Lin Qiu looked at their fight and thought that it was not easy to determine the winner at first glance. Jasmine coughed and Lin Qiu walked up to her and sat down next to her. She said they were heavily poisoned. She's afraid they won't last long if they continue like this. Let him save the commander. Lin Qiu thought that he almost forgot that they were poisoned. He took her hand and thought that he would figure it out. Jasmine asked, "What is he doing?" Lin Qiu did something and she groaned in pain. He told her to be patient, she would feel better soon. He thought that fortunately he had received the art of medicine earlier and bought some medicines in advance. He said that he could determine the degree of poisoning by the pulse. If he intervened now, she would be fine. After the treatment, Jasmine said that she didn't think that at such a young age he not only understood spiritual beasts, but also had medical skills. Lin Qiu replied that he just had a lot of hobbies. He thought that he was learning a new skill every day. Jasmine asked, what is he waiting for? He's done with her, right? Lin Qiu took out a knife and said that this is not true. He needs her to help him with something. Jasmine saw the knife in his hand and wondered what he was up to. Surgeries are not necessary for poisoning, right? Because of the needle he injected into her, she cannot move. Lin Qiu said let her just relax, He swung the blade sharply and she screamed in fear. Then she looked at her wounded hand, from which blood was flowing, and said that she no longer felt dizzy. Her strength was restored. Lin Qiu smiled and said that soon there would be no poison left at all. Jasmine said that he should quickly help the others. Lin Qiu asked, isn't she the healer here? She apologized to him and said that she was so shocked by his skills that she completely forgot about it. Then she will go. Meanwhile, Mimiko from the mercenary group treated Wu Qi and he finally woke up. He stood up and asked how long he had been out. How are things? He saw that their opponents were okay and asked why they were okay. How does their healer remove the poison from their systems? They're at a disadvantage now. It shouldn't be that way. He will have to unleash another wave of poison, otherwise they will blame him for everything. He released the poison and thought that they had an antidote. They were not afraid of the toxin. Their treatment is pointless. He can poison them all again. Shen Zin took a closer look at the poisonous fog, and Mark told Mimiko to help them. Buck Tickwer noticed that Shen Zin stopped and said that as long as this girl is poisoned, she is not their opponent. Suddenly, he got scared of us and told the others to look. Shen Zin began to inhale the poisonous smoke and said that it was so delicious. She went to Wu Qi and he asked, what is it? Doesn't the toxin take it? Shen Zin received a new devil weapon. Her attack power increased by 1,000, and she also gained immunity to poison. Wu Qi was scared and thought, what should he do? He doesn't have enough mana, even if it doesn't come near him. At the same moment, Shen Zin threw him aside and said that she needed more. Buck Tickwer thought in fear, is she processing the released toxins into her own mana? Mark told him she was getting closer. Shen Zin rushed towards them, and the mercenaries grabbed each other in fear, and then she began to beat them. Lin Qiu said that it turns out that they dealt with everyone. Jasmine said that not only did she not lose her mind after using the devilish technique, but her attacks remained just as accurate. Lin Qiu said that even though their commander is strong, he cannot hold back such pressure. They just have to wait until they admit defeat. Lin Chong remained silent, and then headed into the forest and said that he would go and report this to management. When they finish, let them not forget to pump out their leader, he still needs him. Jasmine agreed, and Lin Q asked why he spared him. Jasmine replied that maybe he needed some information. Lin Q asked information. Jasmine said it was about 8 years ago. He had just been accepted into the team and went on a special mission with the previous commander. They needed to protect something very valuable, something that many wanted to possess. The captain and his comrades repelled the attack of several detachments, but then encountered something strange. There were diamonds and platinum on the enemy's side. The commander and his comrades suffered greatly. Even if the commander was platinum at that moment, he still would not be able to resist this person. In the end, everyone except Lin Chong died. Thanks to their sacrifice, he was able to escape and complete the mission. Since then, the scar left by that man has remained on his face. Lin Chong did not allow this scar to be treated, saying that for him it was a kind of reminder. He still considers himself a deserter and constantly says that it would be better if he died with them. But they don't think so. For them, he is a hero. She thinks he is sincerely glad that he had to leave his friends, because it is much more difficult to be alive than to be dead. Lin Q agreed and said that it looks like he really hasn't given up yet. So many years have passed. He wonders how strong that guy is now. Jasmine yawned and then called out to Shen Xin, who at the same moment hit the mercenary leader in the chest and told him to die. This is how the leader and deputy of the mercenary group died. Lin Q said that something was wrong with her. She broke through to platinum, and Lin Q said that she made a breakthrough. Lin Chong asked, "Is this true?" Usually only platinum is able to maintain sanity during daimonic techniques. Shen Xin asked what should they do with the others. Why don't they solve this issue together? The remaining members from the mercenary group asked for mercy, and Lin Chong said that let them take them away. He wanted to ask them some questions. He approached the mercenaries and asked if they knew where he got this scar on his face. Mimiko waved her hands and said that they did not understand him. Lin Q asked in their language, do they know the origin of the scar on his face? If they dare to lie, they won't just let them go. Mimiko again began to beg for mercy and said that they knew nothing. Lin Q told Lin Chong that they didn't know anything. Mimiko pointed at Wu Qi and said that he was sent toxins, she couldn't cure him. Lin Chong said that it seems they need to find a doctor. Shen Xin approached Wu Qi and said that she would bring him to his senses. She touched him with her hand and he opened his eyes, seeing Shen Xin in front of him and thought, is this the she-devil? He immediately crawled away from her and asked her not to eat him. Lin Chong told Shen Xin that she should take the others away from here. She agreed, and after that Lin Chong approached Wu Qi and said that he should tell everything he knew. He talks about the scar. Wu Qi peered at his face and then lowered his gaze and said that he would be of no use. Does he think he is that stupid? Lin Chong told him not to worry, they wouldn't kill any of them. Wu Qi asked, does he take him for an idiot? He is not like them. Does he think he will believe that after what he has done, he will let him go? Lin Chong asked, so will he tell him what he asked? Wu Qi replied that everything was simple. Let him swear that he will not do anything against him after he tells him everything. Lin Chong asked, isn't he afraid that he will regret it? Wu Qi replied that he knew how he felt about the vows he made. Lin Chong raised his hand and said that he swears that his team members will not take any action against him after he tells him everything. Otherwise, 100 years of misfortune will await them. Wu Qi smiled and said that he didn't think he would take it so seriously. However, he really thinks that the information he will say has no meaning. The man who left this scar on his face is named Capella. He is an American agent with incredible abilities. He doesn't know how strong he is now, but the last time they met, he was at the peak of the diamond. Lin Chong asked how he knew this. Wu Qi replied that he knew one of his subordinates. Once they were drinking together, he had too much and spilled the beans. Lin Chong thought that what he said seemed to be true. All these years he also thought about it, but he never managed to collect evidence. He said he could go. Wu Qi said that they are an interesting people. They will certainly be punished for letting him go. Lin Chong said that if he didn't leave now, he would definitely take action. Wu Qi waved his hand and asked, did he think someone like him would be scared by something like that? He laughed and Lin Qiu told Lin Chong that they had already received the information, so there was no need to let him go. Wu Qi turned around and asked, aren't they afraid? Their team will be cursed for breaking their oath. Lin Qiu said that they may be afraid, but he has nothing to do with their team. Wu Qi began to worry and Lin Qiu attacked him, advising him not to resist. He hit Wu Qi in the face, and he lost consciousness. After that, Lin Chong took away his phone and gave it to Lin Qiu, saying that it was his phone. Lin Qiu took it, and Lin Chong said that he heard an explosion. What was it? Lin Qiu told him not to worry. He detonated the explosives in a safe place. There were no casualties. The mercenaries activated this before leaving the inn. The hotel, however, suffered a little damage. He is sure they will demand compensation. Lin Chong said that he was right here. He bowed to him and thanked him, saying that thanks to him the operation was successful and all his comrades remained alive. Lin Qiu was slightly surprised and told the commander not to speak like that. With his status and abilities, he doesn't need to thank him. Lin Chong laughed and told him to stop calling him commander. They are not strangers. If he respects him, then let him simply call him brother. Lin Qiu agreed and called him Brother Lin, and then said that they need to go back to interrogate those guys and rest for a while. Lin Chong agreed with him, and they got down to business. The next day, Lin Qiu began the interrogation. He told Mimiko that she had the right to remain silent. Anything she says can be used against her in court. She's ready. She replied that she was ready. Her name is Mimiko. She is from Japan, sizes 34, 23, 35. Initially, she sold her body, but after her healing abilities awakened, she was taken to the team. She didn't do anything wrong. She moved closer to him and said that he should be gentle with her. Shen Xin, sitting at the next table, coughed and said that they were being interrogated. Let them stop. Lin Qiu obeyed the order and told Mimiko that the interrogation would be extremely serious. If he realizes that she is hiding something, she will be punished. She replied that she understood. She would tell the truth. Lin Qiu asked who is her employer. She replied that she was not sure exactly, but she saw the boss talking to an American. All she heard was that he was from the USA, nothing more. Lin Qiu asked USA. Great, but does she know who contacted them on their side? Mimiko confirmed his words and said that she had never seen him. She only knew that he had a very high status. Lin Qiu thought, high status. This is logical because an ordinary person does not have access to such confidential information. He asked how much they should have been paid. Mimiko replied that Buck said about 100,000 in gold. Lin Qiu broke his pencil and exclaimed, how much? Mimiko replied that 100,000. Lin Qiu asked, what are the conditions? She replied that 30,000 in advance, and the rest would be transferred to the account after the mission was completed. Lin Qiu asked the bill. Don't let her tell him that Buck was the only one who knew the password. Mimiko smiled and said that she knew the password. She was the treasurer. Lin Qiu said that was great. Do they happen to have some computer genius lost somewhere? Shen Xin replied that there is one. His name is Yang Fan. He is a very cool hacker. Should she call him? 10 minutes later, Yang Fan came and asked what happened. Do they need his help? Lin Qiu said that they need to get money. Let him transfer money from the mercenary group's accounts to their account. Lin Qiu asked Shen Xin in a whisper, he can count on a small percentage, right? He doesn't need much. Shen Xin winked and replied that no problem, they would consider it as gratitude for the help. Yang Fan said that he was finished. Lin Qiu asked in surprise, so much. 10, 100, 1,000, 10N, 100,000. He will receive only 1,500,000 in gold. He was upset and thought that if he had known that there was so much money there, he would not have asked for some. Shen Xin asked if they could still give him more. He replied that it was not worth it, they needed this money more. They can just send him 150,000, no more. Shen Xin replied that as he wished. Initially she wanted to give him 10,000, but now she will have to come up with something else. Lin Qiu's eyes widened, and he thought 10,000 gold. This is 67,000 yuan. How painful it is for him to lose this money. He needs to find ways to heal his broken heart. He called 19527 and told him to show off his new skill. 19527 reported that skill extraction is starting. Today's E-rank skill is assessing the environment. Now he can determine the authenticity of the treasure. We are not just talking about antiques. Lin Qiu thought that a few tens of 1,000 gold was nothing in front of such an ability. Looks like he'll be frequenting the antiques market. He had a good feeling. This was great. Lin Chong asked what he was thinking about. Let him get ready. The time for the appointed meeting has almost come. Lin Qiu followed him and Lin Chong said that now he will see everything. The phone received a call and Lin Chong told Lin Qiu to put it on speakerphone. Lin Q turned on the speakerphone and, imitating Buck's voice, replied that he was listening. The man said that he heard something happened there yesterday. Lin Q replied that everything was fine. Due to the climate, the place where they stayed caught fire. They found another hotel. The mercenaries were surprised by Lin Q's voice and said that it was the voice of their boss. The man said that was great, he would be there soon and would contact him. Lin Q replied that he understood him. After that, he ended the call and Shen Xin said that this is great, they will finally meet the person behind all this. Lin Chong said that she should not speak so lightly. Lin Qiu said that although this person spoke English, he had a strong Chinese accent, so they should be careful. Lin Chong told the mercenaries that they should cooperate with them, let them not dare to do anything. If everything is revealed, they will regret it. The mercenaries told him not to worry, they would behave well. Time passed. Shen Xin looked at her watch and said that 20 minutes had already passed, but the phone never rang. Lin Qiu asked Lin Chong if they could contact him themselves. Lin Chong replied that they would wait a little longer. Lin Qiu closed his eyes and thought maybe they were exposed, but this is impossible. Suddenly the phone rang and Lin Qiu answered the call and asked why it took so long. The man replied that something had delayed him. By the way, what you need is in storage box number 035 in the supermarket. Let him ask someone to pick it up. Lin Qiu asked, shouldn't he have given everything to him personally? The man replied that some things are best kept secret. He hung up the call and Shen Xin asked what should they do next. Should they be sent there? Lin Qiu disagreed and said that they didn't know whether someone from the outside was watching the storage room. So they will be discovered, and they will not be able to find out more about their plans. Lin Chong asked, so what should they do? They can't just ignore the contents of the cell. Lin Qiu disagreed, and then put his hand on Echuo's shoulder and asked, don't they have a suitable candidate for the courier? Echuo looked at him blankly, but Lin Qiu just smiled. 10 minutes later, supermarket. Echuo went inside and then walked up to the cell and thought that this was it. He remembered Lin Qiu telling him that he had an incredible chance. He must take things from the cell and they will save him from trouble. He thought that he had found the cell, but how to open it. Suddenly someone touched his back and he immediately turned around, thinking what the hell. He didn't see anyone behind him, but a note on the floor caught his eye. He picked it up and thought that this courier seemed to be being extremely careful. He entered the code for the cell that was in the note and took out a package from there. He looked inside and thought, what is this? He returned to the hotel and handed Lin Qiu the flash drive, telling him not to forget the promise. Lin Qiu replied that he remembered. They plugged the flash drive into the computer and Yang Fan said that he didn't understand anything, he couldn't figure it out. Lin Qiu replied that everything was fine, which means they had really valuable information in their hands. Yang Fan said that it sounded quite offensive, but he was right. Lin Chong laughed and said that although they had not found out who the undercover person was, now that they had the information, all they had to do was wait for their comrades and pass it on to them. Lin Qiu said that the enemy still thinks that the information is in the hands of the mercenaries. Maybe give them a surprise? Lin Chong agreed and asked, how did he not guess? Let him ask the mercenaries what they were supposed to do next after receiving the parcel. Lin Qiu approached the mercenaries and said that their agreement would remain in force depending on whether they were willing to continue to cooperate. Mimiko said that she would do anything for a personal number. Blood gushed out from Lin Qiu's nose and he told her to get dressed. He wanted to ask where they were supposed to send this package after receiving it. Mimiko said in disappointment that she thought there would be something more. They were to go to the coast where it was to be picked up. Coordinates on your phone. Lin Chong said that it was time to teach them a lesson. Lin Qiu thought that if the deal fell through, then the final payment of 70,000 would turn into nothing. He took out his phone and Lin Chong asked what he was going to do. Lin Qiu replied that a bold idea came to his mind. He called the man and he asked, has he received everything yet? They need to deliver the package quickly. Lin Qiu thought it worked. He said that this is not why he is calling, he is waiting for confirmation of the final payment. Shen Xin and Lin Chong said that this guy is a wolf in sheep's clothing. The man replied that they had agreed. The last payment will be after delivery, right? Lin Qiu replied that he had changed his mind. So does he agree or not? He thinks a lot of people will be interested in this thing. The man said furiously that he advised him not to play with fire unless he wanted to get burned. Lin Qiu replied that if so, then he wants not 70,000, but 100 million. The man told him to wait, he would ask his boss. Lin Qiu showed Lin Chong a sign and asked with a gesture, "Is this okay?" After that, the man said that the money had been sent. Let them deliver the goods as soon as possible. Lin Qiu replied that they would do everything in the best possible way. After that, the man hung up the call and Lin Qiu said that it was rude. Yang Fan said that the transfer had arrived, 100,000. Shen Xin smiled and said that this was wonderful. They not only returned the information, but also scammed them out of money. Lin Chong said that they would soon raid the enemy's headquarters. Shen Xin said that he should hurry up and transfer the money to her account. Lin Qiu asked about her. Shen Xin hit him with her elbow and told him not to worry. She promised to pay compensation, so she will definitely do it. Lin Qiu said upsetly that he had specifically asked for more money to save for the wedding. Is he being deprived? Let them return his money. Shen Xin asked, is it a wedding? Maybe he will make her his wife, so he will get much more. Lin Qiu remembered Zhen Zhen and said that she had no chance in front of her. Shen Xin asked who he surrendered to. Let him not worry, the compensation he will receive will not be less than 30,000 yen. Lin Qiu asked happily, is this true? Then he waits impatiently. A few hours later, the support team arrived. Several helicopters flew over the city and landed. Lin Chong and the others met the group and saw in front of them Mu Zhongtu, one of the 3 most powerful people in China. Lin Chong walked up to him and asked why he came in person. Shen Xin told Lin Qiu that this person was respected by every soldier. He is known as the ferocious army tiger, and he is also one of the top 3 strongest of their country. Lin Qiu thought, is he the strongest? Mu Zhongtu laughed and told Lin Chong that they had done a great job. Lin Chong said that despite his praise, his merit is not there. Mu Zhongtu asked what he was talking about. Lin Chong looked at Lin Qiu and said that they succeeded thanks to Lin Qiu and the team leader. Shen Xin and Lin Qiu were surprised and Mu Zhongtu said that they did something incredible, they were great. Shen Xin asked, will he stop making fun of her now? Mu Zhongtu replied that he would stop, of course. Moreover, he will make sure that no one dares to say a word in her direction. Who is Lin Qiu? Why hadn't he heard of it before? Shen Xin pointed at Lin Qiu and said that it was him. Now she will introduce them. She told him about all the merits of Lin Qiu, and he said that this guy is incredible. Shen Xin said that he is also her teacher. Mu Zhongtu asked in surprise, is the freshman really her teacher? He needs to clear things up. He is her teacher, her mentor. He looked at the 2 of them carefully and said that it turns out that he is something like a brother-in-law for him. That means he is now his brother-in-law. Lin Qiu wondered if he was rushing things too much. Or is he serious? He bowed and said that he was glad to meet you. Mu Zhongtu said that he likes this guy. He reminds him of himself when he was young. Suddenly his phone rang, and he said hello to Old Man Shen. Old Man Shen asked something, and Mu Zhongtu replied that she was fine. What's happened? Lin Chong told Lin Qiu that he must be talking to Shen Xin's grandfather right now. He is also a very influential person. During one of the operations, he eliminated the enemy in Zhuhai. Mu Zhongtu asked in surprise, was the enemy completely destroyed? 2 diamond-level warriors. That's great. He told the others that it looked like they had succeeded in capturing the enemy this time. The guys were delighted, and Lin Chong, handing the flash drive to Mu Zhongtu, said that this is the information they were trying to steal. Mu Zhongtu took it and remembered Zhang Hong. He said that they were practically the same age. He is an amazingly talented person, perhaps one of the strongest in their country. Zhang Hong and the other 3 masters had known each other since childhood, but after reaching the gold level, Zhang Hong stopped his practices. He decided to devote himself to the research of spiritual weapons. The helicopters took to the skies, and Mu Zhongtu told Zhang Hong not to worry, they would protect the results of his research. He told the guys that it was time for him to return. He will ensure that his research is aimed at strengthening the prestige of their country. Although the operation was successful, the traitor remains at large. They need to conduct a thorough investigation. After that, he boarded the helicopter and Lin Qiu watched them go, thinking that they had taken that couple of mercenaries with them to try to get some more information out of them. They didn't waste any time, packed their luggage, and also hit the road. They didn't say a word the whole way. Early in the morning, they returned to headquarters, and upon their return, the captain's behavior surprised him a little. Ko Gai asked Lin Qiu if he would like to join their team. Lin Qiu was surprised and replied that he didn't think he wanted to. There are too many rules in the army that don't suit him. Ko Guy smiled and told him to think carefully. Their salary was excellent. Lin Qiu replied that he was not very suitable for this, but he would not refuse some special reward. Ko Guy told him not to worry. He had already contacted higher authorities. He will try to get him a first-class award. Lin Qiu asked if he could get something more practical. Ko Guy asked, does he even understand what a first-degree award is? This is the great part. Lin Qiu replied that he was not a soldier, but a simple student. Ko Guy said that he just doesn't want to evolve. Shen Xin told the captain that she actually thought there was a much more suitable reward for him. Ko Guy said let her speak. Shen Xin said that she was talking about their team's treasure. Ko Guy asked if she thought this would be suitable. Although it is their treasure, he is not sure it will work. Shen Xin said that there was no point in keeping it with them anyway. If they don't give it to him, they'll have to shell out 30,000. Ko Guy agreed and said that even though this thing is quite rare, if they cannot sit through it, it is useless to them. Lin Qiu asked, will they really discuss this in front of him? Maybe they'll just give them something they don't need. Let them better give him 30,000. Ko Guy said that this thing is more valuable than any money. He told Shen Xin that she should bring his new reward. Lin Qiu asked her to wait and said that he had not agreed yet. Shen Xin turned around and told Lin Qiu not to worry. This is a first-class treasure. This is her compensation to him. After a while, Shen Xin gave him an egg and Lin Qiu asked, is this his reward? Shen Xin said that this is the treasure of their team. Lin Qiu asked, isn't it just an egg with horns? Shen Xin said that they still don't know what kind of egg it is or how to hatch it. 19527 exclaimed, are there dragons in this world? Lin Qiu asked, does he mean that this huge egg is a dragon? The robot replied that this was exactly it. Probably in this world we can expect something similar, right? Lin Qiu asked, is it a real flying dragon like in their myths? 19527 replied that it's not like in the West. Simple lizards are overgrown. Can they call them dragons? Lin Qiu asked, if there is an egg, does that mean there are parents? The robot replied that, of course. He thinks they should put this egg somewhere. It is as if he feels the breath of a dragon. Lin Qiu laughed and said that he was lucky he would make this his mount. 19527 laughed and asked if he thought these dragons were that easy to hatch. Lin Qiu thought that his incubation skill told him that it was possible to hatch it, but it was quite troublesome. If he knew that there were dragons in this world, he wouldn't be offended that it was an E-rank skill. Shen Xin slapped the egg with her palm and asked, what's wrong with it? Let him look. Lin Qiu snatched the egg and asked, isn't she afraid of breaking it? Shen Xin replied that if she could break it, she would have made herself egg-fried rice a long time ago. But this egg doesn't even take bullets. Ko Guy said that she studied this for 3 months. When nothing was achieved, she turned into a demon out of anger and bludgeoned this egg for an hour. Lin Qiu stroked the egg and thought that this egg was so poor. Shen Xin said that it was a long time ago and was not true. Does he know what kind of egg this is? Lin Qiu replied that it was a dragon egg. Ko Guy asked, dragon? A legendary dragon soaring through the skies. Lin Qiu confirmed his words and Ko Guy asked if it was time for him to regret his decision. Lin Qiu replied that it was not too late to change everything. He would give this egg for 30,000. Ko Guy asked if he was parting with it too easily. Shen Xin asked how difficult it is to hatch an egg. Lin Qiu replied that it was not difficult at all. As long as there is a sufficient amount of spiritual energy, then there are 2 options. The first is that if an extremely strong spiritual person puts his strength into the egg every day, it will hatch in 10 years. Second way, they can use spiritual cores, it will come out faster. 2 top-tier cores can make it hatch. Shen Xin asked where they would find someone who would feed an egg with his spiritual energy for 10 years. Ko Guy said that the spiritual core is also not so easy to obtain. He closed his eyes and told Lin Qiu that they had no reason to take away what they had given him. He thinks this egg is meant for him, so let him take it for himself. Lin Qiu thanked him and said that he would accept it. He thought that he had already considered giving up this egg, but it would be cool to have his own dragon. In any case, he is still young, so over time he will just need to feed the egg with spiritual energy. Night came, it was time to rest. Lin Qiu sat down on the bed and began to feed the egg with spiritual energy. He thought that if he poured a little energy into the egg every day, maybe he would succeed. Suddenly he felt something and stopped, and then he had a breakthrough to 2 silver stars.